Well, folks, we are live at the Mechanics Institute Chess Club, round 6 of the Tuesday night marathon. Behind me is Abel Talamentes, Mechanics Institute Chess Room Director. And as you'll see in a second, here we are. And I'm FIDE Master Paul Whitehead, and we're going to be looking at some chess games. Maybe we'll award a couple of prizes here. This is one of them.
That's from the library.
This is from our library here at the Chess Club.
So I don't think we'll be awarding that prize.
This is by Patrick Wolf, who is a trustee here at the Mechanics. Is a trustee and two-time U.S. chess champion, and was the acting executive director at the Mechanics Institute Chess Club. And this, folks, is Chess for Dummies, written by James Eade, who was a Mechanics Institute chess room director here. So we've got all the dummies and idiots.
Whether you're a dummy or an idiot, it all started right here at the Mechanics Institute.
Started here at the Mechanics Institute Chess Club. Abel, let me get your name here on here, Abel.
Sure.
Let's see.
And actually, while you're doing that, Patrick's actually coming out with a new edition for that Idiot's Guide to Chess, but it's going to be renamed Play Chess Like a Boss.
Play Chess Like a Boss.
I think it's coming out in September. I think it's actually on the Amazon. Like, you can view it and see it now, but it's coming out in September. But it's the Idiot's Guide, just kind of revamped.
Somebody says we're funny, but I think that's somebody who knows who we are.
Yeah.
Are you
from
saying
Finland.
You think we're funny? What kind of funny?
I think that's hello from Finland, I believe.
Finland? Wow.
So speaking of the person doing the commentary, so we got exciting news this morning that,
what's that?
The Mechanics Institute got awarded the 2020 U.S. Amateur Team West Championship, which is a 4-player tournament. The combined 4 players have to be under 2,200, and it's for the West, so that'll be at the Hyatt SFO in Burlingame, and
that's a national tournament, right?
It's a national tournament. So on that very same weekend, they have the U.S. Amateur Team West, East, North, and South, and then the winning teams from each region play each other in a semifinal, and then they play online. And then
they play online, but they meet in the chess
live. Yeah.
Live.
Then the winners play online, so it'll be like the North against the West and the East versus South.
Right.
And then they have a second round where they determine the champion, and the winner's the national champion of the team. Okay. So it's a very exciting tournament, and
we're throwing the party.
We're throwing the party, and special. A special shout out to Judith, who
Judith
Starry, our very own Judith Starry. Mm-hmm. She worked really hard getting the bids together and submitting them, and we got news right away. So very, very excited to have that event, and
F-Pawn, you're just going to have to get over here and
join in on the fun.
Join in.
And the other one we got is the 2020 U.S. Cadet Championship, which is an invitational for top under 16. It's an 8-player, and we'll be having it here at the Mechanics Institute. So
under 16, and so it's an invite tournament.
Yeah.
I wonder if Hans Niemann played in the one that just finished, and I would just give.
He's got a lot of history here.
I'd give anything to see that guy back here. But he might be too old by then.
Yeah,
I think he'll be too old.
Maybe.
He's becoming an old man.
Well, we had a lot of youngsters. I mean, a lot of the players it was organized here in this area this year, but I mean, we have a lot of that top talent here.
Yeah.
So it'll be exciting. So 2 national championship events that the Mechanics Institute will organize, and really excited about it.
Congratulations, Abel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And
good job.
Thank you, Judith.
And Judith.
Fantastic.
Before you leave,
I can't leave before I plug something.
Oh, okay.
So the
Start
weekend,
plugging.
I gotta plug it. So the week of July 22nd through the 26th here at the Mechanics Institute, we're going to be actually running a camp for intermediate club players.
Okay.
Nick DeFermian will be coaching, running that camp.
Grandmaster Nick DeFermian.
Grandmaster Nick DeFermian, and I think you might be hanging around, and we might have some other guest coaches. So we'll have more information on that. It's open to anyone. So as long as you're a club player, 12, 1300
And above.
12, 1300, and above. You're free to come and be a part of that camp.
Is it okay? So is it a free camp or
it's a fee-based camp.
Okay.
We're making it $80 a day. I think we're going to run it for 5 hours.
Yeah.
It's each
intensive.
day. Each day, it's going to be intensive.
Right.
A terrific deal. We expect kind of an intimate setting. 20 players or less.
Right. Nick and I have done this in the past.
Yeah, and you really get to work with the GM, really go over things that the players want to go over. So we'll be putting information on this on the website pretty soon.
Okay, on the website.
And space is limited, so when we do put it up, we'll probably blast it out through Facebook.
Chessclub.org.
Just go to the website, and then you'll see it. It's a terrific deal, and the exact times that I think we're still working on that. We're planning to start at 11 a.m. I think, because that's when the chess club opens.
Yeah, and I don't get up before then anyway.
And Paul doesn't, he can't hang before that. So
Oh,
actually, Judith, it's already up actually, and and
we have geniuses at work here.
yeah, we got people working. From Finland over here, so the link is up if you're watching the Twitch broadcast. It's on the chat.
This is just unbelievable.
And we have a guarantee that the info page is coming. That's fantastic. This is the service we provide here at the Mechanics Institute. I don't even finish the sentence.
Right.
And
1,000+ rate. It sounds about right.
Yeah.
I mean, this is, I'm going to hold the book up again. Chess for everybody.
So a lot of action.
Hi, Daniel.
Yeah, Daniel Perloff out there. Full house out there in the back. We have another tournament director helping us out, Arthur Liu.
Arthur Liu.
So a lot of action.
Okay.
A lot of good chess action.
When is it?
Which one, the tournament?
I'm not sure.
Oh, they're asking July 22nd through the 26th.
The chess camp.
Yeah,
11 to 4. I don't know. I need to read that book. Yeah, Chess for Dummies. Actually, reviewing a beginner's book is actually not. I learn every time I teach somebody something chess, no matter how simple it is.
Even if it's how to teach.
Yeah.
Others, right?
Yeah. No. Teaching teaches the teacher, I think, as well, in an interesting way.
Yeah. So it was kind of funny because this week we're broadcasting the top AB section game, and we're broadcasting the top under 1600 game.
This is fantastic. We decided to go ahead. We decided not to just put the top 10 boards of the Tuesday Night Marathon, but to take the top under 1600 and the top AB board.
And that was sort of a result of the Addison Memorial, because we did the top 6 boards there, and then we did the top A, the top B, the top C, and then the top DE Unrated.
What a fantastic idea.
And it was an amazing, we got amazing feedback out of it, because even when the players came in here and did the interview after the game, you really got an idea of just how they think, their thought processes, like of an A player, of a B player, of a C player,
Sure.
D players. And they just lit up that they had the opportunity to play on, that board.
To play on DGT boards, to have their games looked at by grandmasters, Nick DeFermian, and even by lowly FIDE masters like myself, but just and then Stockfish, of course, and just the thrill of longing to this amazing chess club where all this is going on.
Yeah.
So, that's
but
great.
it was funny because I was doing the pre-tournament announcements, and the players that are sort of new to those DGT boards, they were, okay, what do I do? How do I start this clock? And what do I got to do when it's over?
I've never played on a DGT board myself. I don't know. I've never done
right?
it. Yeah, I've never done
gosh. Wow, I did not know that.
I'll have to play a 10-minute game or something on it just to see what it feels. What it's like.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So we'll have to get you on. Actually, you can play our Monday Night Rapid, and maybe one of these days we'll broadcast those Rapid tournaments. Actually, that could be interesting and fun.
Yeah.
So got a
lot of
chess,
things
lot of stuff
going on here, and every week I come to work and my head spins around with all the new things that are being done here, and it's all to promote chess in the Bay Area, and we're reaching out into the world, and it's really phenomenal what's been going on here.
Yeah, it's just fun. It's fun kind of being a part of, it's fun being a part of fun and new things kind of going on here, and it's fun watching the players enjoy it so much.
They really are. We broke the Tuesday night marathon, which used to be one gigantic open tournament. We broke it down into 3 sections, and we held our breath as we waited to see what the reactions would be, and it's just been incredibly popular. Now players have 8 competitive games every week, rather than rather than getting smashed by a FIDE master or an international master.
I just love telling the story that one of our very prominent players, when I floated this idea, just openly told me that I run the risk of going down in history as the one that ruined the Tuesday night marathon.
Ruined the club.
So I'm glad that everything worked out. The feedback's been amazing. I just felt that it would, and I'm glad it did. I'm relieved it did. Yeah.
So another thing that we're going to start doing, I think maybe in a month or so, is we're going to have the tournament director's corner here.
Actually, Judith, who's we talked about it before, but we solidified plans while you were away under cover of darkness, Judith. So from 7 o'clock to about 7:15ish.
5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Yeah, and we'll figure that out. Judith and I will do we'll talk some TD stuff. We'll talk about our upcoming stuff, and we'll take any questions.
Will you guys be taking bribes on camera?
No, not on camera. Definitely not on camera.
I have to throw that out.
I might cover it or something.
Yeah. Here's a $20 bill. Can you give me a draw on my next? Pair me with so and so.
But
I'm just kidding.
But I think it's important too to just be available for questions, because we get asked questions all the time just walking around here.
Right. Yeah.
And whether it's questions about the club or a TD question, or about stuff we're doing or ideas of what we can do, I think it could be cool just to give that forum.
Fantastic.
Talk about stuff.
Amazing stuff going on here.
Yeah. So I'll let you get started on the games. I'm going to see what's going on out there. And
okay. Come back and kibitz the tournament with me. Yeah, kibitz the tournament with me. Thanks, Abel. Okay, so...
He was late, 7:30.
So let's go to the Summer Tuesday Night Marathon Round 6, and I'm going to go to the DGT boards. and we are not only looking at the boards. Are we on YouTube as well right now, streaming on YouTube? I'd like to know that because I haven't seen any comments from YouTube. Also, there might have been some issue there, but we're on Twitch TV and YouTube and on ChessBomb and chess24.com. So you can watch cyborg analysis, as we call it here, cyborg analysis, and but we're not using that capability here is at on our live broadcast. I'm going to take a quick break here while we resolve a technical issue, and let's see. So, and I think I do that by, let's see. Okay, I'm going to let you do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Recording.
I see. There, you just went on break.
All right, folks, we are back at the Tuesday night marathon. I am going to put the DGT board up, and we're going to go to board 1. It says, here we go. Hang in there with us, folks. Okay, so on board 1 we have, let's go to FIDE Master. Ezra Chambers is playing Alexander Ivanov, who is leading this tournament. Let's see, what's his score? 4.5 out of 5. Yikes. And Chambers is one of only 2 players with 4. The other is Kyron Griffith, and Chambers is white and playing Ivanov. Nice troubleshooting. Yeah, man, we're right up there with the troubleshooting. All right, so let's go quickly back through this game, and I'll give you my thoughts here. And we're starting off with another Slav, and this, I think, transposes soon into a Dutch defense. And white chooses a particular setup, denying black e4 and probably planning to play e4 as quickly. And it's a bit of a risky setup positionally. I don't like it for black. And I think black's already experiencing some difficulties. b5, a5, and now e4. So I can't but help think that white is in the driver's seat here. If f takes e4, I think knight e4, and if possible, f e4, not worrying about bishop h2, knight g4 check, knight g4 check, king g1, queen h4, bishop f4, rook f4. I mean, that might be actually difficult. White can simply play knight c3, takes e4 there, and with a definite advantage in that position, no matter how you slice the cake.
sheets here?
There's a box where you can return score sheets in the other room, but this is yeah.
I'll do.
All right, thank you, sir. Apart from the tournament hall that you see up there, there's another room and 2 rooms where you can play chess here at the Mechanics Institute on a Tuesday night. So this does not look good for Ivanov. I already think Ezra has a significant advantage. And thanks for watching, everybody who's watching. I know we have millions of people, and we're going to have some special guests on here at some point. Let's go to the next game, and this is Kyron Griffith versus Conrado Diaz, and these are 2 very. I have a lot of respect for both of these players. Kyron Griffith has come to the Bay Area recently and just taken the Tuesday night marathon in the Mechanics Institute by storm. He won the Addison tournament, won $1,000 clear first place, finishing ahead of a whole bunch of strong players, and he's kind of the man to beat around here lately. The only person that has taken a game off him in a classical chess game is Elliot Winslow, International Master Elliot Winslow, who we can sort of call Mr. Tuesday Night. We have Mr. Saturday Night, but Elliot's Mr. Tuesday Night, and he's definitely he's the only player to take a game off of Kyron Griffith, a really strong player. So Kyron has played Diaz. Is this the 3rd time that Kyron's played Diaz? At least the 2nd. He beat him once before. I think the other game might have been a draw. This is the 3rd time they've played. This is the 3rd time they played. And Diaz, I think, has had the unfortunate thing, and this happened in my chess career too. Sometimes it's really horrible, but you keep getting black against the same player over and over and over again, and it's just demoralizing. It's like, why can't I get white again? I'll stand a better chance if I have white. So Diaz plays a Caro-Kann, and now we have the advanced variation. This is a very, it started they started playing this Tal Botvinnik 1961 return match. Tal didn't really get much out of this opening, and it's been refined over the years. It can be it's a difficult opening to play. The advantage for players is that a lot of pieces are kept on the board, and here's the black has his bishop outside his white squared bishop outside the pawn structure, and white has a lot of space, extra space.
But it's warning right there.
And we can see white's just taking more and more and more space. We have a visitor on Twitch from the UK. That is so cool.
And Judith's all over it.
And yeah, thank you. And thanks for...
It's daytime where she's at.
Yeah. So, in B6, black is trying to break the clamp over here. I think if black decided to play A6 instead, we'd have a completely different game where white would probably try to play F4 and G4 and play on the king's side. But it seems like black, would have his chances in that position too. So I'm not sure if black maybe couldn't have played A6. Of course, white can develop a lot of pressure, maybe even on B7 by doubling or maybe even tripling on the B pawn with a rook A3, B3, rook A4, rook B4. I don't know. Maybe this is the right. Thanks for the feedback. Yeah, this is we're trying a different thing here at the Mechanics Club. All of these videos that we have a few videos on Twitch, but we have 50 odd videos that have been archived now on YouTube. So you can go to our YouTube channel and see tons of content, and we're creating more every week. And there's it's not just the Tuesday night marathon. There's going to be we have a lecture by Grandmaster Nick DeFermian, and also that's delivered before the Tuesday night marathon tournament, and also we are going to put other content up there, chess lessons, tournament directing questions, and humor. You name it. We're gonna try to hit you with chess from all angles. So watch out, world. Let's see. Okay, so Diaz plays b6, and now and Chiron hits him with g4. So this really super aggressive play here from Chiron. So I'm complicated, and I'm going to try to, White can play f4 here. Or bishop, or take with the c, play c takes b6, a takes b6, and a6 is another idea to get a pass pawn on a6. Of course, that might have its problems too. If this works for Black, I mean, f4 is not the end of the world here. Black can play bishop e4 maybe, or f6 himself, or something like that. If this works for Black, I think Black is going to be okay. White is very extended here, and we'll see what happens. Let's see. So there's a complex game on board 2. Let's go to board 3, where we have FIDE Master Andy Lee versus Woman FIDE Master Mugi Segmed. And this, we're going to go through this kind of quickly here. It's an advanced French. And, for you folks back home, Black can't play knight d4, queen d4, bishop b5 check, and Black loses his queen. A common beginner's mistake, but who knows? You might catch your opponent out in it. Bishop d7. Now White really is offering the d pawn, and Black takes it, and White, and this is called, I think it's called a Milner. It's a variation of the Milner-Barry gambit, like a French defense. White giving up, trying to get some play here. Black goes back there. We're going to have to catch up in development here, Black, at some point, which he does here, and coming under a lot of pressure here. Very interesting. B4 offering another pawn, which Black takes, and allowing this this attack here, double attack on the Black queen. Very, very cool-headed play by Black here, who now just simply moves her queen. I guess it's possible to play to take the knight and to give up the queen for a rook and a knight, but that must favor White. So queen a5 is played, rook c8, bishop c8, and White now gets the two bishops and keeps the game open and fast-paced in this way. Black is still up a pawn. The knight is pinned. Knight is now unpinned, and the queen check forces the knight back. Let's see if White. I don't think. Is it possible that queen b3? Oh, then knight d3. Okay, so queen a4 check, knight c6, and very forcing. Every move played by White here is forcing. And this threatens knight b5 maybe, and knight d6 check, just black wants to castle, knight b5, queen e5, rook e1. Just every move by white is just a forcing continuation. So queen b8 here. I think this game is going rather fast. The white is playing extremely forcing moves. If queen b8, my suggestion, then queen a3 looks strong. And black has been under a lot of pressure here. White's now still 2 pawns down, but this is a tough position for this could be a tough position for black. Queen b8, queen a3, and we can see that the black king is still stuck in the center. And Andy Lee likes to attack, and this is an interesting game. It's very interesting. Black has to calculate some. Black has to be careful here. We'll see what happens. The game hangs in the balance. What is it? I'm not sure exactly what a Twitch moderator is, but okay. Now on board 4, we have a big matchup here with Elliot Winslow, International Master, Mr. Tuesday Night. Elliot Winslow versus Tenzing Shaw. He's a strong master who's played here a bunch of times, and I think has won the Tuesday Night match. Andy's probably still in punk. Wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, that's a lot of fast moves being played there. It's amazing. And a lot of pressure there on the white. And Tenzing Shaw, I think, has won this tournament once, the Tuesday Night Marathon. Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, so a Twitch moderator is someone who surveys the stream chat for any inappropriate messages and removes them. So I think we've done that in the past. There's been a couple of people who have made some, or there was at least one time at the beginning when somebody made some kind of offhand, off-color remarks, and but he was removed by somebody. And it's always appreciated. We're just trying to talk about chess here and not trying to, make comments about the way people play chess. It's a horrible, well, that's a really bad chess move, or, whatever, that kind of thing. We don't want it to get too personal. You're seeing the playing hall back here, folks. Let's see. Let's take a look at Elliot's game versus Shaw. And this is another Queen's Gambit declined. This is an interesting couple of moves here. Okay, so black plays knight h5 to exchange a dark squared bishop, and white goes back to e2 to take off the knight at h5. And that's exactly what happens. And the black bishop is going to be fianchettoed, and the white bishop makes another. And so white places bishop to d3, maybe to redeploy the knight to e2, because I think the bishop is well placed on e2, or is somewhat. Bishop d3 kind of looks like it loses a move, but and we're back to a minority attack here. White's playing a minority attack with b4. Pretty standard kind of position here. Well, it's got to be white for choice. Small advantage for white. And we'll go down to board 5. Michael Lin playing Russell Wong, and Michael Lin is a strong expert in the 20 candidate master, I guess you would call him, and he's playing National Master Russell Wong, a longtime mechanics chess player, and I think who has also won this tournament, this Tuesday night marathon tournament in the distant past. So we have a ready opening here. And black is, okay. Rook G1, and this is the very popular kind of move nowadays to play G4. And, you know, just would not have been thought of before, more than 10 years ago, I think. I guess it's even possible to play G4 now, and if knight G4, Rook G1, okay, we won't go there. Rook G1, E5, takes, knight takes, knight E4, Bishop C7, threatening mate. Will the master, the national master, see it? Yes. Knight goes back to F6, H4. Queen E7, Bishop D3, G6, and here we are. Well, a bit of an eccentric setup by White. I think White probably wishes his rook was at H1 now, so he could just go ahead and play H5. You can use that one. It's open. It says, yeah.
It says danger, don't go. But you can go.
Yeah, I think it's open now. Yeah. So club players are waltzing in the door. Yeah, we should check out a couple of other other Twitch channels. We're a little bit, at least I am a little bit ignorant of the community, of the Twitch chess community, even though we're here on Twitch, and in the city that Twitch is. You know, we're 4 blocks from Twitch. In fact, I was with Abel Telementis, the chess room director, over to the Twitch headquarters, and yet I haven't watched a lot of Twitch streaming. So I've seen people playing bullet chess and stuff, and that doesn't interest me that much. So I'm more interested in watching people play bullet. So I'm not sure if we're doing something that's completely different to what other people are doing, or if people are giving lessons, or, you know, there's a growing chess community. I know that. All right. Yeah, and here, if White's rook was on H1, H5 maybe, and if knight H5, knight H7, or something horrible like that, but I'm not sure that H5, knight H5, G4, knight F6. White's got a certain amount of attacking possibilities here, but Black has got knight C5 and queen C5. So it's a game, folks. And on board 6, we have one of the top 11-year-old chess players in the country. She is, let's see what her rating is, 2190. She's probably a master now. And she is in a difficult position here, though. Quite a difficult position. Right, Nakamura streams. Well, I mean, Nakamura is Nakamura. Yeah, he is a great chess player and entertaining, and Alexandra Botez. I'm not familiar with. I haven't watched a lot of what they're doing. So I need to pay a little bit of attention to that, especially because they're doing things that have made them very popular, and I want to be popular, or I want to be popular for the Mechanics Institute. I want the Mechanics Institute to succeed on this platform. We're doing a certain thing here, and anything we can do to augment that and to strengthen that. something that we are interested in. So it's not about me, folks. It's about the Mechanics Institute. I just had my 59th birthday, and I joined the Mechanics Institute in 1972 when I was 12 years old. So I've been a part of this club for a long time, and it interested me to see how it's evolved through the various directors and so on and so forth. What's happening now with this live streaming and chess and the internet and so forth is the next step that we needed to take here, and it's just been incredible how it's taken on a life of its own. We've only been doing this for a few months, and feedback has been really terrific, and we're all excited and very new at all this. So we should look around at what other people are doing as well. I'm going to go back over this game from the beginning. This is, like I said, Michael Walter is a experienced master. Has been around for a long time, and he seems to have completely outplayed Rui in this. He has a weakness, and then he gets into time trouble. Wow, so we have viewers from. Did your game finish?
Yeah.
In a draw.
In a draw.
Okay. We'll talk to you in a minute, but this is fantastic. FIDE Master finished his streaming and he relayed his viewers to us. Well, thank you. Hopefully, I don't know who FIDE Master is. I want to look at your stream at some point, and I will. But we really appreciate it. And I'm joined here by Kyron Griffith, who has just finished his game. We're going to look at that, but first, Kyron, let me get your name up here in lights. This is part of the things that we're learning how to do here, is to put people's names on the.
No, I might not be on here.
You are on here.
Oh, okay.
I just have to find you. Let's see. Dum-da-da-dum-dum. All right, Kyron Griffith, where are you? Okay, Juan, tell Juan to come in here and put Kyron Griffith's name on here.
What's he gonna
I know.
I know. I've got the strongest player in the tournament sitting right next to me, at the highest rated. And I can't put his name on here. So, okay, but this is Kyron Griffith, and his game just ended in a draw on the top board.
Thanks, Judith.
Yeah, Judith is like,
on fire.
You're on fire. You're directing the club from afar. Apologies to the club director behind me here.
No, man, I admit my defeats. No problem.
Kyron, we're looking at this game. I want Kyron's name up on here, but I just.
You click the plus, like try adding?
Yeah, but it's not as easy. It's actually, it's a little bit of a pain. I'm gonna,
right.
But let's go here and look at this game quickly. You know something about this this opening?
Yes.
Just loud.
Okay. And it looks to me like Walter has completely.
Ooh, Bishop F3.
Bishop F3, yeah.
It's a strange move.
Yeah. And it looks like White gets really outplayed here in this game, and a lot of odd maneuvers.
Oh, wow, this early. A knight c5 or queen c7?
And kind of a...
Rookie 3. I'm a little bit suspicious of this sacrifice. I mean, it looks pretty, but like...
Right.
It's so early, and White hasn't done anything super, like...
Rookie 3
Rookie 3 doesn't seem right, though.
It's awkward.
Yeah, like, did you have to do that? Like,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Rookie 3. I mean, we can go back.
Yeah.
Maybe knight g3
It's a
or
full,
something more.
full exchange. Yeah, knight g3 to
e3.
f5. Well, okay, maybe you should defend c3 because the a1 rook hangs when he takes it.
It's true, but
okay, like
knight g3, queen c3, bishop d2, or bishop a3 or something else.
Yeah. I mean, even something lame looking like bishop b2 is like okay, like
That is kind of lame looking.
exchange up though. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't
exchange is the exchange. What's the? I mean, it's a very common sacrifice, and okay.
know. a5, but now your c pawn is always a target. I'm
So
not sure
maybe
a5.
i5 is the wrong.
I don't think a5
idea.
helps you at all. I mean,
Okay,
or at least wait for black to attack, like play bishop c6 or something.
and then play
And
a5.
then play a5, 'cause-
Right. Maybe White's finding it difficult to find a move here. You know, a
Maybe.
little bit.
Okay, like what? Yeah, I mean, you have to find
We
some
can't
sort of
ask the
active plan.
Silicon God. But let's see. Okay, so
Maybe he wants to play
a5.
bishop a3 is the idea. Okay, I guess that is the idea.
Okay.
Just to put it. I still like white.
Yeah.
Seems like-
money in the bank,
Yeah.
right? Very typical.
Took on c5, huh?
Okay, so that's possibly a move that we don't know. I can see that. Well, the storm clouds gathering
I know,
over
I'm
the
really trying to take on
over the
h5
white
right now.
e pawn. Oh, you want to take on e?
I wanted to play like bishop h5 and just go for it, but who knows? Who knows if that's probably not justified here. I don't think bishop c5 was right at all because now c3 is a major target. Like with the knight was actually kind of preventing
Yeah.
black from attacking c3. Like maybe just stick the bishop on b4 and sit there forever.
Right, and not take on c5.
Yeah.
Young players are impatient. Maybe that
Really?
has something to do with it.
Okay.
She's not impatient, though. I don't think.
Yeah. But see, like now c3 is falling, and black starts to really have some compensation now. Is there a reason why black isn't taking c3?
Black is thinking about taking on c3.
Probably.
It seems
Now-
perfectly reasonable.
Now
to
I
do.
think black has plenty of compensation. Something went
Yeah.
wrong in the last like 5 or 6 moves.
Mm-hmm. I think it was difficult for White to be precise there and to find the right
Maybe so.
idea. And these positions are kind of easier to play for Black sometimes. But yeah.
Yeah, interesting. I mean,
Okay.
probably easier to play for black at this point.
Show us your game, Conrad.
That wasn't very interesting. But,
Okay, c4. Somebody's asking, what about c4 instead of?
yeah, that's a good question. I was thinking about that, just to kind of clog up the c file. But then I think e4 falls. Like, how do you c4 bc and then
Both don't.
And then
like I think you're
knight takes
you're also
e4 on the
losing
next
e4.
move.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean,
yeah.
c4 positionally makes sense, but I think people subscribe for urgent now.
For around
This is-
$4.99.
This is public radio.
Yeah.
Free for all.
Yeah, well, there's a point here that we are a nonprofit, and sometimes the Mechanics Institute is a nonprofit, and sometimes we have to figure out the way that money works around the idea of a nonprofit. So I'm not sure exactly, but like every nonprofit, we're always looking for money, right? That's a
Sounds like a philosophical conversation.
yeah. Well,
The
yeah.
nature of a nonprofit.
Right. Okay, so we're here. Well, Conrad, show us your game. Conrado's a nice guy, and it's easy to offer him a draw and to sort of take a draw. He's also he's a strong player. I know you've got a win now in 3 draws or 2 draws again.
Two draws, but
He's a player with a lot of latent strength.
this is the summer Tuesday night marathon at the Mechanics Institute in San Francisco.
Live from downtown.
Live from downtown San
You
Francisco.
have to use that phrase.
Yeah.
Live
Live from downtown San Francisco. It's a Tuesday night marathon. It's a tournament that was started in 1972 during the Fisher boom by the club director at the time, Raymond Conway, who is known as Two Gun Conway. I don't know I played in the second one because I joined in 1972. I know that for a fact because I have an old score sheet that says second Tuesday night marathon on it. Now we're in the hundreds of Tuesday night marathons, maybe even more. I have no idea. And it's the largest weekday. One round is played on Tuesday night. It's game now. When I was playing, the time control was like 40 moves in 2 hours, and then there were adjournments, which were played out during the week, and now it's game in 2 hours with a 5-second delay. So the format's changed a little bit, and now we have more players playing. So it's yeah. So show us your game, Karen.
All right.
As I lose the thread.
So he played Caro-Kann, which he kind of varies between like 5 different openings, so it's very difficult to anticipate anything.
Right.
Went with the main line. He plays his H6 move, which is in itself not bad. It's just, I don't know, just a little kind of slow, and sometimes black plays G5, but it's never actually like scary or anything for white. It's more of a positional thrust. So I play knight d2. My idea is just play knight b3 and cover c5 and try to shove the a pawn and maybe the c pawn at some point and get some play on the queen side. Mostly just gain some space. So he develops pretty normally.
Right.
Play bishop h7. I was wondering about playing bishop d3 here now that the bishop's moved and just trading off his good light squared bishop.
Right, and then he'll be left with a good dark squared bishop.
Exactly, yeah. So it's the Caro-Kann. Both your bishops are good.
Right,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, it is tough.
This is the modern way for white to play, which is just to kind of grab a lot of space, and that's what you did really quickly.
Yeah, well, it's like black's pieces all become well placed if you take too long, so you have to get some sort of advantage.
Right.
So I feel like a lot of people play a5 actually to stop the a5 thrust, so I was kind of surprised he allowed it. Although I guess it doesn't really, I mean, maybe it's just a little bit annoying for black, just so you can't put anything on b6 or anything. So he just kind of develops and kind of ignores me.
Right.
Which I wasn't so sure of. I thought.
So if you play a6, he'll play b6.
Yeah, I think just b6.
Yeah, and then you can go for c4 and try to take on d5, or I don't know. It all seems kind of vague and.
I mean, so I went with c4 immediately.
Yeah.
Just trying to just kind of.
Sure.
Play c4 before he plays c5, because if
we don't have Kyron Griffith's name on here. Can we believe that? We have got this. It's an outrage. we have our technical genius actually helping to put Kyron's name on here.
Oh, sorry.
You can still go.
I can use the arrow keys.
Yeah. So we can continue to talk about the game.
So yeah, I ended up playing c4 in this position and kind of just wanted to grab some space before, all of his pieces were developed and he played c5 or f6 or something.
Okay. Can you use the arrow keys?
Oh, sorry.
No, not yet.
Sorry.
Okay, well, it's getting your name up is very important for us. We're learning all these little technical things. I knew how to do it, but this is part of the learning process.
Of course. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
There you go.
Just so you know, Paul, Judith wants to scan your score sheets to preserve them for posterity.
Yeah, perfect.
Well,
Very
well,
cool.
well. There'll be selected score sheets.
Nice.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, I have a name.
FIDE Master Kyron Griffith.
Yeah, so played C4. I think it's okay in itself.
Okay.
He just ignored it, which
Yeah, he's
He
been
did-
ignoring you. That's irritating
I know.
when you have a chess player that ignores you. You want to.
yeah.
So you can either do something on the queen side or what? I mean,
Yeah,
could you take on? Could you try to soften him up there?
I could. Yeah,
somehow?
I could trade on D5 and then like
Eight.
try to play on the queen side, but I kind of think he's faster than me because my bishop on C1 is still.
So what about Bishop
Stuck.
D2 here?
Bishop D2 is definitely a candidate move.
Okay, yeah.
I was thinking about that.
Instead, you just took the bull by the horns.
No, C5 was bad actually. Another move, I could play Bishop D2 here, and Bishop D3 actually is interesting here. Bishop D3 with maybe G4 in the air or something.
I see. Right.
Like another way I could play this is play Bishop D3. If he castles, I can like play G4. Maybe not immediately, or maybe so. Then trade the knights, trade the bishops, and play F4, and
right.
F5.
And F5. Yeah.
And then if you play C5, I just play C3 and try to like kind of hold the queen side and try to push on the king side.
Right.
Which
Right.
I kind of wish I did now.
Of course, you can always play F6 too, so it gets
Sure,
a little
sure.
gets a little dodgy. It's not all.
If I can meet F6 with F5, I think I'm always happy. But
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if that's always true.
Um,
I play well. Thank you. I don't know if that's true. And
no, you play
Move the-
very well.
move the
You play
pieces.
very well.
legal
Yeah.
destinations. So yeah, C5 was definitely a mistake. I completely missed B6.
That's interesting. Is B6 really a great move? I guess
Yeah.
it is a good move.
I just don't have a good response
If
to
you
it.
take and play A6, it's too early for that, and you're just going to lose.
I mean, the
it.
problem is I'm actually behind in development now.
Right.
He's like, all his pieces are well placed, and like I was just greedily trying to grab a bunch of space and then develop, but B6 is definitely the right move, trying to blow it all open now while I'm still not ready.
Yeah, it is a good move, and yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I mean, I was hoping for A6, in which case I think I'm doing very well. Like A6, I'll just
Slowly build up on
I might
the
actually
queen side.
play G4 immediately, trade the knights, play F4, and then just like now that the queen side is closed, and just like take a bunch of space on the king
Right,
side.
and then you're always left with the possibility way later in the game of
Yeah,
playing,
put a rook on B3, put a knight on B6, like that'd
right, or triple on the
be,
B file. Or something.
something
Yeah.
insane. But
Right.
no, B6 was really unfortunate.
Okay, so how did you deal with this?
So I played G4. 'Cause
Right.
all these different, like trading on B6, just like he's just always
He's
too
fast. Yeah.
And he's threatening to take on C5, so like that has to be dealt with.
Right.
Yeah, there wasn't much I could do. Like, I guess the other
Well, this
alternative
is what a master is able to do that a B player and an A player and a C player is not able to do, which is recognize a critical moment and then take action in that critical moment. And so an A player might make another couple of moves on the queen side here for white and then find himself in a lost position. And knowing when things have gotten, when the whatever has hit the fan, to say, to paraphrase, to paraphrase
it's definitely,
the
I definitely felt like this was a turning point.
right.
Like,
Critical moments in chess.
kind of
Critical moments. All right, so let's see.
Felt like I lost my advantage. So I thought it was important to redirect the bishop.
Yeah,
from
now
E7.
at this position, I was looking at this position with the folks back home, and I thought that there was a dynamic equality here for black. That
yeah, black is definitely not worse.
yeah,
all of those
and I
pieces are
still wasn't sure
good.
what you were going to do on the queen side. So what happened here?
Me neither. I ended up playing bishop b3,
Interesting choice.
just trying to catch up in development.
Catch up in development, and now,
So he took, and offered me a draw, and I actually played one more move and then offered one back. But
right.
I think I'm worse here. Actually, I think I'm just because
Black has the chances with f6 at some point,
I think
also the b file.
yeah. I mean, like I think
b file.
structurally, like if I can play queen d2, b4, rook a3, I'm okay. Oh, you can donate to mechanics.
Sure.
If I have like
Not the club itself, but
if I had like 3 moves to.
are you the one making these
That.
comments as mechanics chats? Yeah. Cool. That's very cool. Yeah, you're worse here, I
Yeah.
guess, with Black's pressure on the B file. But Conrado is a peacefully inclined player. If you push him, he'll fight back and maybe beat
Oh,
you.
Gotham
but
Chess is on the stream.
do you know?
He's another streamer.
He's another streamer. Are you a streamer?
I am not. No,
You're not.
I'm
Yeah. Is Gotham Chess? Do you know who that is? Well, hi, Gotham
Yes.
Chess. Yeah,
It's
cool.
a strong international master from New York.
Nice. We're getting people here that are responding to our page. It's interesting, or our stream. It's interesting to see. Strong as a stretch. Well, Chiron is strong, and
That's a stretch too.
well, we're all stretching it, and
Yeah.
that's part of it. Well, okay. Well, thank you
Yeah, so-
for sharing your game. Yeah, Conrado has my respect. I've seen him. He's resilient and a player that you can underestimate because I think.
Yeah, I don't think he played any bad moves in this game. I think he just played well from the start, and I think I'm worse here, and he.
And like I said, he's
luckily he gave me a draw.
peacefully inclined. I
Yeah.
think a lot of the time he's good natured and peacefully inclined, and but he's also I think you tied with him for first in the spring TNM.
No, in the spring I missed a bunch of days.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I think I tied with him in the winter.
Right. So I think he's tied the last 2 TNMs. So he is.
Yeah, hard to beat him.
Yeah, he's hard to beat. Although you've beaten him, and you are exceptionally hard to beat. I think only one player has beaten you in a classical game here, and that's Elliot, right?
I think that's true. Yeah, I lost 2 games in that ridiculously strong rapid championship here.
Yeah. Well, who beat you?
Uh,
Caruana,
Izoria and Shanklin.
Izoria, and Shanklin. Well, those guys are really
I think
good.
they played in a U.S. championship.
Yeah. Well, what incredible experience that was, though. Like,
Yeah, that was
I mean,
awesome.
Yeah. Well, we you have given us the opportunity, and we hope to give you the opportunity to play, to have strong competition here. And you're part of like.
I'm trying to be.
Yeah,
trying to be
I
stronger.
think you might be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, no, I think so.
Really, I'm hoping that for you. We're trying to develop a lot of players here. Eric Lee, Rui Yan, other players. This is, I think you're in the right place at the right time with the right people directing this club right now into the for the next foreseeable future. We're going to see some incredible things here. I don't even think that they know what's going to happen. That's the scary part.
Yeah, no, it's definitely mechanics is growing and doing bigger and better things every day. So.
Yeah. Well, okay. You're welcome to hang out here if you want. But this is actually how we get to the.
Okay.
Yeah, how we get to the next games.
Take a look at some of these. Just,
Yeah, let's take a look at your competition. This to me looked like Chambers was badly outplaying Ivanov in this game.
So yeah, so Stonewall and just goes
and
takes on c4. Okay.
Yeah, Black makes a lot of choices here that I would not have played, being sort of a classically minded.
Yeah, he's kind of asking for it with these b5, a5 stuff. And White's just calmly developing.
And I thought,
trades with the knight. Okay.
well, Black does maybe have bishop. Would Black have bishop h2? No, he wouldn't have bishop h2.
Yeah. No, because f8 is hanging.
Yeah, f8
and
is hanging.
bishop f4.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But taking with the knight also looks very good. Structurally, Black is bankrupt. I mean,
Black has to play e5, right? Oh, we
I don't
can't.
know what that means.
I mean, if Black can get away with e5, I think
but
that's
c6 is hanging.
necessary. But if you can't do it, yeah, c6 is hanging. So
So White has a development.
it's like trouble. So
Yeah.
Queen b6, e5. Wow. Why can't we take? Oh, because f8. Wait, why can't we take this? Bishop takes, rook f8.
H7 is hanging.
But then
but that's
D4?
still, yeah.
Question mark? That's an interesting move. Wait, what is he trying to do? So if
White's trying to crash in here, H7, and then a quick knight F4 or something, or get. I mean,
because you can also take with a knight on E5. Maybe some bishop E4 ideas, or maybe he just wants to trade for H7 and
you
the
trade for
king's
H7
never
and
safe.
then play it that way. Yeah.
But okay, so bishop E5, rook F8, knight F8.
Well, then
bishop
H7 is.
But then
is covered.
yeah, it's covered,
right
and D4 is hanging.
So bishop E5. Let's
Okay,
just
then
go
you have to
bishop
take
H7
H7,
right
okay.
away.
Bishop D4,
Does black want to play bishop D4?
free pawn.
Yeah, that's true. 2 free pawns. Oh no,
Well,
one.
you
Yeah,
give H7, yeah.
So knight
You might
E4.
have to though, if otherwise you're just your king's going to be unsafe for nothing.
So knight D4, queen D4, king H1, and then bishop D7.
Yeah, bishop E5 I think has to be played.
Okay.
Okay, so bishop H7 I assume is the idea. I don't really.
Yeah, I'm not sure that white is just hoping that this wins.
I don't think he thinks it wins. I think he's just trying to get some play on the
Right.
king side. But okay, so white's cleared bishop is going to be terrible for a while. You get the bishop pair if he takes on d4, and I guess bishop c3 will always come with some power.
Thank you, Pero Darius. Thank you for your kind words. This is awesome. From England, we've been seen around the world. We've been seen in Brazil and France and England, and this is just it's like a dream come true for the Mechanics Institute to have this international attention. And so thank you very much. Good night.
And growing.
Yeah. Maybe
wanted to
Abel Telementis here.
just real quick, I just kind of wanted to plug in. Just people were asking about just ways to give. So on the chat, we put in a link if you wanted to donate. milibrary.org/give. I'll punch it in again. And I just wanted to plug like 2 things that we have growing and that are very important. What we're doing is Scholastic Chess is one of them. We're growing our after-school programs and our in-school programs. And through that link, you can actually choose to give to Scholastic Chess. That's something that you want to support. So
You can earmark your donation.
yeah, so those donations will go only to that. Because even most of the programs we do through our Scholastic Chess program are free programs that are funded through donations and provide chess programs in schools where people would not be able to traditionally afford an after-school program. So that's kind of exciting. The other thing that's really cool, kind of make it part of the historical legacy of the Mechanics Institute, is if you go into that chess room, if you look at the chairs that people are sitting on, some of them have these gold plaques. That people can buy, in memory of someone, or you kind of leave a legacy, like in the Mechanics Institute chess room.
Many chess masters have been honored out there with plaques on the chairs.
Yeah, so there's ways to, get, someone you love's name out there on the chair and kind of make them a permanent part of history. So there's a lot of ways. All you need to do is just reach out to us, follow that link, or even just send us an email. If there's something that you want to support, and then our development director, Jessica Neves, can kind of help guide you of how to do that. And there's a lot of ways to kind of give to
The oldest chess club in the world.
In the world. Sorry. In the world. I don't know about the world, but in
the United States.
The United States, that's good enough. So I'll put in the link again on the website, and then if people have any questions, just give us a shout out. He's trying to go too big.
Yeah, hyperbole. Yeah, that's a little too much. Okay, so bishop h7.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
I'm not so sure about this either. And
I think white still probably has some pull, but it's not at all clear, because black could also just play like knight f6 here if he wants.
Exactly.
Or maybe you insert knight f6 and then take on d4, or maybe you play now 6 and then move your bishop away.
I agree. Let's just see what happens. This is
Black has some options.
I think White maybe has stumbled a little bit with e5 and got a little too impatient or something.
I don't think White's worse, but maybe the advantage isn't quite what it was.
I am in absolute agreement with you. We know what happened in that game. This was okay. We left it off here.
Andy loves sacking the pawn and the French every time.
Yeah. So somebody said that they thought F-Pawn said that Andy was still in the book.
Wow.
But maybe. So if Queen B8, Queen A3, and I think that's my guess. So
I mean Queen A3 anyway, right?
Or Knight G6 check. Oh, Queen A3 anyway. Sure.
Okay, so you have 2 bishops, but you're 2 pawns down.
Lots of play.
Knight C7, Knight D6 are both in the air.
Yeah.
You can get one back on A7 if you want. Okay,
Black
6
goes for that. And I see the point of Queen H5, which I was...
Could check board 7.
Oh, what about some weird Bishop A5? If Knight takes, you can play Rook E5 or something crazy like that because it's F7.
Wow.
Okay, he says something else.
Oh, because the Queen's coming into D6.
Yeah, that looks strong.
It's inevitable that something was going to be White was going to try something here.
Okay, so
Black is thinking.
Takes, check, King C8. What's the big idea here? Do you
What's
just
the big idea?
Just take on E6
and then follow up with Bishop F4 or something.
That's interesting. What? Does this really work? Check King C8. You can play check King C8. You can play Rook C1 also.
Or Bishop A6. Maybe Bishop A6 is too much.
Oh, because Knight C7's coming at the end, maybe. But then Bishop F4. Maybe Bishop A6 too. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be calculated. Okay, Bishop A6 is the most forcing.
So Bishop B7, Queen D6, King C8, Bishop A6 threatens Queen C6. Of course, yeah. So looks like a few moves possible there.
If Knight E to D8, maybe you just take on B7.
Let's try taking on A6.
Okay, takes on A6, take on C6.
Knight C7, then Bishop F4. Bishop A5.
And Rook C1 even.
Yeah.
It seems like you can't... Or you're definitely losing that knight at least. You're probably getting mated too.
Yeah.
I think Bishop F4 and there's no defense.
So maybe Bishop A6 is a strong move. If you're threatening... If one of the knights goes back to D8, then you're going to play Bishop F4 anyway, maybe.
Yeah, Bishop F4 anyways. Nasty. Bishop A6, maybe... What else is there?
So what's Black thinking about, though? If King C7, Queen D6...
Yeah, Queen D6, Rook B1. And you get the knight at least. And probably mating.
Yeah. Probably mating. That sounds like something... sounds like my analysis.
It's King E8 is... But then that's just horrible. It
looks to me like White's starting to crash through here, but
maybe 7 is nasty move.
Yeah. Okay, well we'll come back to this. We haven't even gotten down to the bottom boards. Here's Winslow and Shaw. There was a few strange moves here, but
they took the bishop. Okay. Makes sense.
Things are changing. The nature of the game is sort of changing here. What looked like a slow minority attack is now turning into some kind of Winslow-ish.
Is that the technical name for this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this Bishop A6 maneuver. I think the rook's a little bit...
I think White's wishing his rooks were on E1 and D1 now. Although I'm not sure. Yeah, it's
probably equalish.
Yeah, equalish. Well, black's a little softened up on the queen side, but
Yeah, but that knight's strong,
Yeah.
and the bishop is better than the knight on f3, and
yeah, and there's the isolated
D4,
d-pawn and
rook d8, maybe.
All right, we've passed our judgment. Let's go on to Lin and Wang. Oh, this was a pretty exciting
nice.
opening. This
All
was,
these Englishes with h4.
yeah, and White's played rook g1. Yeah, I'll go back over it because you might be interested in this. Yeah, it was like a ready opening with
Rook
that
G1,
rook g1.
yeah,
Have you- right.
Yeah.
Which would have been unthinkable not so long ago. Now is
Yeah,
like
now it's like the only plan. Of course, you have to shove g4 and h4. h4 first is kind of interesting. Okay.
yeah,
fine.
yeah. And then this is
Makes sense.
makes sense.
G6 kind of seems like you're giving him.
White's
target.
wishing his rook was on h1 when h5 would probably just win in here, right?
Yeah. I mean, you might be able to play it
You
anyway.
might be able to play it anyway, but his rook's,
Oh,
is that
yeah.
to prevent knight c5 or queen c5?
Probably.
Maybe? Yeah,
It's probably not terrible.
not terrible. And that looks like it could be inviting disaster. So White
Yeah.
would end up with winning with a fork on e6 if he took on g6.
Yeah.
So this looks
Knight takes, huh? I guess, okay, you still have the fork. Yeah, it's,
with a bunch of pawns. So if pawn
okay, yeah,
takes,
I think knight takes is right, because f takes and you're getting a full piece with on e6.
and that's
I guess you have to.
yeah, this kind of
What are your piece for 3 pawns? But that knight on c7,
is
how's he
it,
getting out?
he's not worried
not.
about it. This is a good game.
Yeah, this is a great
kind
game.
of a good game, very thematic, right? On White's part. Michael Lin.
This is much easier to play with white at this point.
Yeah. Russell finds himself struggling in these games that I know he wishes there are these moves that he wishes he hadn't played or something. This is a difficult position for Black, I think. Huh?
It is. I think black's main.
Just might as well play 98 here.
Yeah, the main idea is to go win this knight, like king d6.
Yeah, there you go.
How do you?
Bishop a3 check?
Yeah. Wait. What?
Wait a minute.
What?
Bishop a3 check.
Did you just miss this? c5. Maybe he's trying to trade the bishop. But then the knight just gets out if he wants. Bishop a3,
Yeah,
knight
or
d5.
g5 first and knight d5, or something's gone wrong here for Black. This is just. It's not. White's running out of time, but still, bishop a3 check is not hard to see here.
No, yeah, that's killing.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on. We still haven't gotten to some of these bottom board. Okay, we were here. Let's just roll with this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mistransmissions.
But it'll go back to it. Watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're
Something bizarre about these DGT boards or the transmissions.
Is it going crazy or?
It made a few odd moves, and now we're back to where it probably would have been anyway. I think White's having some difficulty here. Yeah, that's a good move. Obviously.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, maybe White's not having difficulty here. This.
Okay, wait. Okay.
You want to go back and
No,
let's review some of these?
Things are holding down by a
yeah.
thread, maybe. King g7.
King g7.
Rook d2, I guess. I guess you're okay. This definitely seems like a
Tactical
tactic is
slugfest all of a sudden.
seems like a tactic is waiting to happen to white here.
Yeah. With
Okay.
Black being able to play e4, but also, Black could lose this very quickly too, couldn't he?
Yeah, I think if he loses like a6 or something,
Yeah.
he could. But I think Black has pretty solid compensation for that. Like, he's a pawn for the exchange, and pieces are active. E4 in the air,
Okay.
and like White's pieces are kind of tangled up. that knight has nowhere to go.
Okay, let's move on here to this game had an abrupt conclusion. We can go back over it. This was not originally the game that was going to be another Dutch knight c6. Huh? Okay. A stone wall with knight c6. I've seen that played. I've seen it played. It's not b6 though. I'm not sure fits in well with that.
Yeah, this is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Usually you try to just transfer the knight pretty quickly. I feel like.
Or play bishop d. Yeah.
Yeah, or bishop d7, bishop e8. And
somehow this doesn't look like it should work, but
yeah.
let's see what it worked. It. Maybe that's
maybe
slow.
White's playing a little too slowly here.
A little too slow. And Black's sort of getting everything that he wants.
Even still, the knight's strangely placed on c6.
Yep. And Black just doesn't care. Oh,
free pawn.
Oh, yeah. What happened there?
Just hanging.
Yuck. White should at least play b4 here or something. Yep, this is a sort of a beginner's mistake being played by a player that should know better, an expert that should know better. And this just seems like a strikeout into into mid-air. White gets a couple of pawns. I think Black should be in control here. Yikes!
Okay. Yeah, this should end quickly. Ooh.
And it does. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so White's just playing on out of. Yeah. Okay. Board 8 in the open section. These are two experts, strong experts, I think. Yep. Let's go back all the way to the beginning here, just to give our viewers a Queen's Indian setup, I guess, or depending on whose side you're looking at. I like this setup for Black in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's flexible. And White's getting nothing.
Yeah. I mean, White's not.
White's just. That's probably the right piece to trade, though, for White. Trying to inject some dynamism into it. And E5 is, maybe questionable. Could be, well, it's either good or bad.
Either good or bad, yeah. No, I think Black's doing fine here.
Black's doing fine.
This looks like a lot of Sicilian positions, actually.
Yeah, it does.
But yeah, once you get E4 and the bishop opens, not worse.
Oh, and then here we go again. What is with these? What is
going on?
Okay, so if bishop c3, rook c1, if rook c3 takes twice and queen c6, so bishop d4 makes sense in a way.
Well, what are you trying to do with the bishop on d4?
That's a good question. You're not supposed to ask that question.
Show off that there's a pin, but you have to go back now.
I guess bishop c3, rook c1 is too dangerous, right? Queen e5. You're pinned.
You're very pinned.
You're very pinned.
Yeah, probably too dangerous. I don't really see how you're ever getting out of that.
But Black still probably has a good game if he just goes back.
Yeah. I mean, instead of bishop d4, maybe just double on the c file or something, like rook c7, rook c8.
Okay, now I want to get to the two games that I'm interested in actually the most of all these games. And that is we've decided to put the top boards, the top 8-player board and the top under 1600 boards on board 9 and 10 permanently now in the Tuesday Night Marathon forever. And so this is Ella Papanek, who's leading, I think, with she is leading by a half. She has 4.5 out of 5 and is dominating this event. She's also rated 1997, so she's as the strongest player and the leader of the tournament. So let's take a look at this game. And it's a Grunfelds with E3. And
yeah, quick C5. Hey, well, with knight B6 is kind of strange. Like, what if you just take it?
yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Why not just take
I
it?
guess knight goes to D7.
And she said the same thing.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
I think white, knight D5 or knight B5, or is this...
Yeah, knight A6. This is a real thing.
Very... Well, no, okay, now...
Okay,
the
knight D takes C5.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate you never have a B4.
Yeah, maybe white missed something a little more incisive
Going
here.
for it.
Yeah, what's going on here?
We're really trying to punish black.
Yeah, trying to punish black is exactly
I
right.
think-
And I appreciate that kind of play.
I don't think white has enough, though.
Yeah.
Seems like
Although black has some difficulties here.
it's true.
Knight
I guess you have
D6
to-
and F6 is going. Maybe this was this was kind of well thought out. I like the way white's playing though. It has a positive, has a kind of a,
Yeah.
maybe there was something missed in the opening, some accurate inaccuracies, but there's a positivity to white's play here that's good, even if it's maybe not the right.
optimism.
Yeah. And
I
bishop
think just bishop B8. Oh no, E7's hanging too.
Yeah,
Wow.
bishop F5 is a possibility, maybe. It's a lot for black to calculate.
Yeah, it's tough to hang on to everything here.
And you can't say that white hasn't put a lot of thought into the game. She has 38 minutes left.
Maybe
So-
94 is the move here.
Yeah, I was looking at that too, 94. A lot going on. It's complicated. It's very complicated.
Bishop E6, interesting as well.
Yeah.
Take on D6 and take on D5.
I like that. Yeah. That's true. That would solve all of black's problems. Or a lot of black's problems.
Probably bishop E6, bishop C4 maybe
Or-
is the
Yeah.
idea, and then you're threatening knight E7.
Bishop
Tricky.
E7.
And then you take. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, the knight on
covered.
C5 is.
Okay.
Yeah. But white could play bishop F3 maybe, or there's.
Some
I
life
don't know.
black has a pawn, but white has
Yeah.
to play. It's
Yeah. Okay. All right, and now the final board is a 1300 player versus a 1500 player, and but we are attaching as much importance to this game as any of the other games, and that's why we're not going to look at. No, I'm just kidding. No, we're going to go.
They're like defeating the whole purpose.
No, I'm really glad we're finally getting to this game. This is Michael Baer and versus John Chan, and so the ratings are 1300 and 1500 basically here. So let's follow the game. Well, I want to think that, but I play rapid. This is very popular. Playing C6 here. Have you?
Really?
Have you? Yeah. In blitz games, I see this like over and over and over.
I mean, you
there
can
must
spend-
be
yeah.
some guy that recommended this, and this.
I mean, you
is,
just transposed to a French where black played C6 for some reason.
and he's a tempo down, but there must be somebody who recommended this.
A6, steal.
This is the John Chan system. Okay, so
That's typical, actually.
The old snake.
yeah, A4 is maybe not necessary here, but okay. So let's see what happens. And there's a kind of a logic to this,
So you got a French position where white's up a couple tempi, maybe.
right? And
Knight
black-
F8. Wow.
yeah, knight F8. I don't like it. I don't like it. And knight F3 is a good move. White could think of maybe gaining.
Maybe I would try to punish that.
Yeah, the pawn avalanche F4 move.
F4, and if he plays G6, then what is his knight doing?
Exactly. So this transfer of the knight over to
Knight's going
white
H5. Oh, bishop F8.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah,
Yeah.
John Chan. These
He's
games are. So this is in anticipation of knight h5. I mean, white could probably play c4 and try to blow black out of the water here with all the development that he has.
It seems very thematic.
Rook e1 is maybe a good start.
I think you gotta blow
Queen
c2.
e2.
I think it's the time for c4. You gotta just like punish this.
Yeah. The queen e2 does threaten bishop takes a6 and John. Okay.
Yeah, but now you're letting him lock it up.
Yeah. I think black's been allowed a couple of good moves here. I'd still white for choice. Gotta be white for choice here.
Oof, I probably would have taken an h6 and played an h5, and then.
Ooh.
It's pretty brutal.
Right. Bishop h6 and knight h5. I like it.
Yeah, and that knight is just a monster for the rest of the game.
Yeah. Strong. Okay, white's just content with developing his pieces.
Seems like white doesn't have much of a plan. Knight h5? No.
Yeah, knight h5 again for white here.
I also don't like this knight f5 move.
For black, yeah.
Maybe just take it with the bishop. So your bishop is not your best piece.
Takes it with the knight. Instead of playing knight h5.
I would have taken it with the bishop and put the knight on h5.
Okay. And does this accomplish anything after bishop c6? But the rook is allowed to stay on the 7th rank for a move. I think if I was white, I would think about playing, well, a5 and rook b6. And black is just sitting. Rook b6. That's a nice square for the rook.
Not sure what
yeah,
he's trying to do.
Both players are kind of drifting around.
Okay, bishop g5. There we go. We're trying to trade off your bad bishop.
That's a good plan.
I don't know if you want to trade off that knight, though. That knight is...
Yeah. The trading the right pieces are the best commentator in the Bay Area. I know, Kyron is the best. Kyron is the best. So I agree. Knight, what's the point of trading off this piece? But we have to take into account also the ratings of the players. Okay, so g5 is a threat, maybe. And
yeah. G5 seems to be a threat.
White goes back before that can be played.
Are you going to play it anyway?
No.
Black's position doesn't look horrible anymore.
No, it doesn't.
It's been given a lot of chances.
Yeah. G5.
Oh, I was thinking maybe F4. Just go.
Okay, folks, this is probably not.
No,
okay.
he's trying to take B6.
I know, but rook E6.
Oh yeah, it's probably not good. But
okay, so that's
nice
a shot out of the blue, and rook E6 is played.
Yeah.
I'm proud of Michael for playing that move. That is opportunistic. It may not work out in the long run. Fe6, black makes his pawn structure better, but white now has two bishops.
And did he get a pawn out of that?
And he gets that pawn.
No, he didn't. Was white a pawn down? Did I miss something?
I don't think he was.
Okay. Oh, because we took on d4 with this.
Yeah. I mean, I think I would have maybe left the rook on b5.
Yeah, I would have played like queen b2.
Or queen b2. Yeah. Rook is passively placed on on b1.
Maybe he just wants to put on a1 and start shoving.
Yeah, okay. He's trying to cover the squares on the queen side.
C3.
Well done. Very well done. Black has done nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, queen a3.
And white's playing with a plan and a purpose.
There we go. Bishop's d6 and then c5 or something like that. Don't like that move.
Okay.
Yeah, now we're tied down a little bit, but still bishop c3. Yeah. White should win.
Okay. Yep. He has various ways of trying to win this game.
I mean, maybe the thing you should do is try to pivot to the king side, like hit him with like h4, queen c1 or something, and
I like that idea.
see if you can make an attack.
Black has played an incredibly funny game in a way. I mean, just done absolutely nothing except for move back and forth in a kind of a strange way. You know?
Yeah, some shuffling.
And White's trying. Despite being outrated by a couple of hundred rating points, you get the sense that White is really trying. Maybe his execution hasn't been perfect, but I give White kudos for trying, and Black has not really tried much in this game. So we'll come back to this game. And if you're gonna,
I'm gonna take off. But
thanks, Kyron. Thanks.
That was nice.
It's a lot, man. Thanks. It's always you're absolute.
See you next week.
Abel, would you like to sit here for a minute while I go to the restroom? I think I'm gonna take a quick break here and stretch my legs. I'll tell you what. I'll put your name down, and take mine off and do all that kind of. All that jazz. And we're going to put your name in.
Oh, look at that. The best commentator in the Bay Area.
I know.
Sauce.
So what's happened here, Juan? I'm going to ask. Oh, there it is. Okay. Transition. Okay. Ta-da! It worked. It's just for some reason it has that little thingy on it. Okay. Judith, I don't know if you're still watching, but thank you for all your hard work while you're on vacation. It just boggles the mind.
This is her vacation.
Yeah, it boggles the mind. But, what
what
I really get a sense is, like, you guys, she loves chess and the organizing part of it, and it's just working to make this happen.
Yeah, and actually, I'll talk about that
too.
I'll talk about that a little bit. You just gave me something good to talk about, because it sure can't be good chess analysis.
All right.
Right, Paul?
I'm not sure about that. Don't cut yourself in. Don't cut yourself.
So, hey everyone. So I'll be sitting in for a little bit while Paul is taking a little bit of a break. What Paul was just saying. Judith's currently stuck in a layover, so she's going to Budapest, and she's in Helsinki right now. And there's kind of like some mix-up, some delay, so she had to actually stay overnight in Helsinki. And then she's leaving. It's morning now, so now she'll be leaving to go to Budapest. But as Paul's been saying, she's been nonstop. On in the chat and the commentary, kind of giving info. She's actually also been responding to emails, work emails. One of the things Paul was noticing, and just anybody that knows Judith notices that, she's nonstop and does a lot and works hard, but and I've been accused of being the same, but we actually really enjoy what we do. We love what we do. Sure, we love chess, but the thing we really like is just putting on a good experience for people and doing new things. And so kind of like the workaholic, the overwork, it's more out of enjoyment of putting on a good show and doing good things for people, and that's kind of like the drive and the motivation. And I know that's why she does it and why she loves it, and that's why I do it too. But one of the cool things about being here at Mechanics is everyone involved has sort of that same attitude. I know Juan's sitting over there, and he takes that same approach. He's nonstop ideas and wanting to do things and just put good service, put on a good show. And Paul's the same way. He loves doing these broadcasts, and he prepares for them. And so it's good to be around others that just want to see really cool things and good things. So that's kind of that's kind of what's going on and what we're about and what we're doing. So another thing I kind of wanted to talk about too is as we expand and kind of bring new tournaments and new events. One of the things that we're looking to do is, because we're getting more engagement from people and we're getting more people playing the events and more people asking about it. We even had a couple of people asking when they can jump in, but because we're close to the end of the tournament, this is round 6 of 8. It's going to be better for the people that wanting to play, enjoying to start when the next one comes in. But one of the things we were talking about too is we're getting new people and new engagement is with regards to our newsletter. So, the Mechanics newsletter, I was really proud of last week's newsletter because we had an article by Andy Kim who's actually spent a year here and then he's moving back to Massachusetts. But he said the one thing he's going to miss the most was the Mechanics Institute because he just loved being a part of the club and seeing all the stuff that was going on here. And it's just getting articles and getting ideas from the people that are part of the community. So we really encourage people that are out there kind of following and watching and if you have questions or if you have ideas or even if you want to write something, just send it to us because we'll put it in the newsletter as long as it's not something like blatantly offensive or something like that. But we want the club and the newsletter to kind of reflect the community. So if you have some ideas for content or something you want to talk about or a topic you want to engage with, send it to us because we want to know and we sort of want to be a voice for people in the area. Very good. Yes. We just got a comment on seeing the top board in the 1600 and 1999 and the top under 1600, and if it's who I think it is, it's actually the person that taught me how to do that. I think that's John
JMCHL.
I think that's John McCumsky. From the tournament director side, there's actually a technique you have to use in order to in the tournament software to allow it, because the open section, when we do the pairings, it'll say boards 1 through 8, and then it skips to 11.
Really? You know me?
Yeah, I think so. Actually, I probably don't know you. Who knows what goes on?
You know what I would have done? I think I would have done forced pair. Like, can't you assign a board number and a forced pairing in Swiss system?
So kind of the weird way you do it for the really geeky people out there that want to know how it's done in Swiss Sys. So what we do is we create 2 dummy IDs, and we name them board 9 and board 10 because those are the 2 boards we do
in the open section.
Yeah, and Swiss is actually the U.S. Chess Federation actually acknowledges 25 million as like the dummy ID code. So when it asks
that is geeky.
Yeah, so when it asks for the USCF ID, that's what you put in. So when we create those dummy IDs, then we make it so that the board 9 always has to be on board 9 because there's a way in the software to do it where you assign that board. Mm-hmm. So you do for 9 and 10. So it sets those boards aside, and then so that way in the open section it skips 9 and 10. So on the pairings, if you actually you can leave the ones on Facebook, if you look at those, because those are the ones up, it goes 1 through 8 and then skips to 11.
Right.
And then we assign 9. We change it so in the 1600 to 1999, where normally it would say board 20. We assign it 9, and then it goes 21, 22, 23.
That's really cool. It works perfectly.
And actually, I never knew how to do that except John knew. So during the Addison, when he was here TDing on that Saturday, he's the one that was able to do it and showed me how to do it. It was just a really interesting thing. I mean, that's what you get with someone with that level of experience that's done it, every scenario that there is. So,
it's incredible. The amount of expertise and knowledge floating around here is absolutely mind-boggling.
No, we're actually pretty lucky that we kind of live in the area where we have resources of knowledge like that, especially someone like John McCumsky, who's been doing it for so long and has seen so many scenarios. I mean, when we had the Rapid Championship, that was this one.
You should
right
hold
here.
that up.
Yeah. So actually, one of the kind of the proud moments here is that the Mechanics Institute has like a quarterly magazine that comes out. It's for the whole institute, and on the cover they put a picture from the Mechanics Rapid Championship with Caruana and Hammer playing the final round.
For chess lover, it doesn't get much better than that.
So that's kind of big time acknowledgement. But A little known fact, so Judith and I were the tournament directors of this event.
Right.
But that afternoon, I actually called John and I said, hey, if we have a question, if we got some kind of emergency,
Right.
can you be ready to, give you a call and,
Right.
and help us out? And he said he'd be available.
So is that like Slumdog Millionaire? Or
Yeah,
something?
that's phone a friend. Yeah.
Phone a friend.
It could be phone a friend, 50-50, and whatever the other lifeline is.
Yeah.
What's the other 50-50? Phone a friend.
I don't know.
And,
I don't know.
I asked the audience, but that's not one of the lifelines we would want to use.
Right.
That tournament room. But there are other TDs in the area, but one of the cool things is. The reason it was like really cool that Judith and I did it and we had John to kind of help us out was that, I think Judith and I are at that point where, we've run a lot of events, we certainly have a lot of experience running tournaments, but kind of having the opportunity to do a big one like that where, there's sort of a lot of pressure. I mean, there are a lot of big players in the room, but
Sure.
but
You know what I noticed though? I mean, the players there were a lot of prima donnas back in my day. I'm not gonna, I know that they're still out there, but
Yeah.
like the top players had their share of like some major prima donnas here in the club, and I don't see as much of that kind of behavior going on.
no, it's there.
It's there.
It's actually there, but
I'm just not seeing
But
it.
honestly, we squash it right away. I squash it right away.
Tournament directors carry bigger guns now, I guess.
No, we've had it where players do some outrageous things. I had a player just a couple of weeks ago that kind of just like threw the pieces,
Right.
And so I had a conversation with that player.
But I'm talking about like grandmasters and stuff.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
no, it feels
At
a
the
little
top,
different.
It does feel
Yeah,
different.
because Jude and I run. We've worked a lot of events where we had a lot of top grandmasters and players. I can't say that we've experienced sort of a continued like prima donna feel. Actually haven't. I think Judith would agree. We generally don't have that. Where the sense of like entitlement or just some kind of attitude, and at least not from the ones from this area. Actually, they're some of the best mannered, best.
I mean, in the time that I've been back here at the club, I haven't seen anybody, of the top players. I mean,
Yeah.
like at the Rapid, that back in the day there would have been some cranky players. Where's my the something complaining about the conditions or that's just not seeing so much of that anymore.
Yeah, and
It's more a new professionalism. I think it's
it's a better attitude, and even the kids, kind of the kids that are growing, the strong players,
Right.
They're some of the nicest ones. I mean, kind of one of the knocks that you hear is like a lot of adults don't want to play against other kids, especially like the kids that are really good.
Mm-hmm.
But I have very rarely seen a kid that's kind of a rising, like 15, 16, 17, 1800 plus,
Right.
have some kind of attitude. They've generally been,
And I'll tell you why I think that that's true. I think it's the tournament directing. I think that part of it is that the rules are clear cut. There's more like, you're forfeited if you do this and da 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 da. It seems to me that there may be more that the rules, some of the rules have been laid down a little more.
And I know that not just in scholastic events, but I've seen it.
And tournament directors are doing a better job than they used to do.
Well, I mean, you just have to be strict with the rules. And I'll give you a perfect
Right.
example. It's the kids that are on the cusp of transitioning from what is normally scholastic
Right.
to like 12, 1300, 1400, where they still retain a little bit of attitude, kind of this prima donna, or
Right,
just
right,
kind of
right.
wanting to act like kids, right? It's just setting the expectations right away to say like hey, that's not good sportsmanship. I pulled players away from games, and I said I need to talk to you, and I say
Right.
what are you doing, because they'll have that like
You're acting like a little brat.
yeah, and I've had those conversations with those players. So
Right.
it's just being strict with kind of expectations and sportsmanship and just general
Right.
rules, and that just sets the tone for their continued growth in future. And I see Andy Lee just finished his game, so I'm going to have him
That's
jump
awesome.
in here.
Thank you, Andy.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's gonna be.
All right, Andy. So Andy, you played a really dynamic and exciting game, and let me just give me 1 second here because I want to put your name on in lights. Do we have Andy Lee up here? Andy, this is
You got rid of me after
No.
last week. I wasn't deserving.
that is not true. We would never
Gotta
get.
earn his name back.
Well, I'm there.
No, I saw you, but I need to take Abel's
Okay.
name off. I think, and Abel right there.
I'm just trying to earn my name back.
Let's put Paul Whitehead up first.
Hi.
Yes.
Can I get a marker for 50
there you
minutes
are.
for a draw?
And where is Andy Lee?
I have 4 minutes.
Somewhere down there.
There you are. Boom.
Boom. Oh,
Oh,
did not do
wait
it.
a minute. It's not there.
Do you have to click on the I button?
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
There you go. And we're going to transition. It worked.
All right.
Okay. So, Andy, let's pull up your game and show us how much of this was book and... No, just kidding.
Right, yeah.
Here, you go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, so what's funny is we played in the last Tuesday night marathon with the same colors, right?
Uh-huh.
And there's always the temptation to do something different.
Right.
Especially when you're playing something that's more of a surprise opening than anything else, right?
Okay.
I think all of my openings might be surprise openings. So when you get...
Well, you've been playing this Milner Barry. What is that?
right.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah, so this is the third time
or-
I've played it. And
It suits you.
I might know what I'm doing this time. Last time I didn't quite know what I was doing. So anyway, so we have this normal advanced French, and obviously you can't take on D4.
Right.
because
I
this bishop
pointed that
B5
out to
check
the.
at
I
the end,
pointed
yeah.
that out to the multitudes.
Right. So
Now
now we're
she
gambiting
takes
a
it.
pawn, right? Yeah, there's not a whole lot of reasonable options. I mean, you can play knight B4,
Right.
I guess, if you just want to sit around, but you end up losing
is-
some time.
This has got to be a book move.
yeah,
not
I mean,
T4.
you need to take this pawn, right? Like
Okay.
that's what you're trying to do.
Okay.
There's some interesting lines actually after like knight E7 instead of taking right away, also, but
Okay.
I'm not sure you gain much by it.
All right.
Yes, this knight D2 idea I think is kind of cool.
Okay. So what did they used to do? Play knight C3 or
They used to play knight C. Oh no, they used to trade and then play knight
knight
C3.
C3? Right.
And then the idea
And
is
the
if
idea is to go
queen
knight-
E5, then you play rook E1, and you've given up 2 pawns, but
And you
you're
play knight B5 or
right. And if the queen goes to B8, you take on D5. And
Okay.
these lines are super sharp, but the problem is after
can-
you trade on D4 and knight C3, black can just play A6, and there doesn't seem to be a whole lot going on,
Okay. All right.
right? Like you've got this kind of mediocre position.
I'm not up on the theory of the Milner-Barry gambit,
Yeah.
but I heard it was dubious.
It's not great, yeah.
Okay, but you've injected some new life.
Well,
into
this
it.
this knight BD2 idea that some people came up with
Okay.
seems to be at least fun. It's worth a try. I don't think you're ever in serious danger of just losing the game. The other line, I actually faced it once with black, is knight G5 here, which is really an aggressive move, right?
Yeah,
But,
yeah. And
I-
then what do you play? Knight H6 or something?
Oh God, I forget. I glanced at this actually. I was kind of thinking, well, I played knight BD2 last time, so maybe I should try knight G5. And I looked at it, and it just didn't look very
So
appetizing.
you played knight BD2 against
Yeah.
Sigmund?
Yeah, last
Okay.
Tuesday night marathon.
Okay.
Same
I
line.
I don't remember.
Yeah, and so she played the same move. I don't think this move is the best. After the last 2 games
It's
we played,
not-
I'm a little suspicious of it.
Because you won both games.
Yeah,
you-
although the first game was kind of a mess.
So maybe knight H6, or what's the book move here?
There's a lot of moves. You could play knight E7.
Mm-hmm.
You could take on F3, which I think is also a little sketchy. Bishop C5 is possible and is interesting.
That's the move that.
Bishop C5 might be the best. It's
And you're
definitely
going to play B4 or something like that.
B4 is one move, yeah, but I don't know if it quite works.
Right.
The problem is you can trade on F3 and then take with your queen on B4, and after I play rook B1, you play queen a4 to trade the queens off.
That's devious.
And that ending is a little bit tricky. You're still just down a pawn, and you have to prove that you have something.
Right.
So anyway, so knight c6. This move feels passive to me. It just doesn't feel great.
Okay.
And so the problem with it is, so just knight b3, and then you're going to put your bishop on e3, and your rook on c1, and your knight on c5, right?
And that's what you did.
Yeah.
Is this the last time you played as well?
Right, so here she played f5.
I see.
Which is pretty bad. The problem is once you've played f5, you're just down a tempo in development. I'm not going to take on f6.
That would
want to
be
get
very,
your pieces out.
that would be very Nimzovician.
Right, but after you play f5, now it's going to be hard for you to ever take on e5 because your e6 pawn is a little bit weaker, and I can just kind of go for this big clamp again, and everything's a little weaker than it needs to be.
That game kind of was coming back to me. So you won.
In that game, I sacked on f5 and then played e6 and took on d5, and that wasn't right. But my position was good after f5. So anyway,
so you had an improvement in mind.
Well, just to play normally and not like a sociopath.
I see.
Okay. So anyway, so this is the main line, right?
Okay.
This gets played most commonly, but it's pretty straightforward. You just put the rook on c1, and then after knight g6, you just play knight c5. And the point is that it's not very easy to take this pawn on e5. If you take with the knight, we trade on e5. You take with the queen, and then I take on b7. And the position is surprisingly annoying.
Black has no time to play bishop e7 there.
Instead of taking on e5.
No, in that final position.
Maybe. I'm trying to remember exactly what's supposed to happen after that. It's possible.
All I want to do if I'm playing
is get castled, right?
I guess bishop b5 maybe bishop
I might
b5.
just put the knight back on c5 in that position, right?
That's true.
And you can't castle because you're tied to the bishop.
That's
on
true.
Yeah, it's a little dicey, right?
Mm-hmm.
So those positions I think are pretty hard. So the main line here now is bishop to e7.
Okay.
And then after b4, you play a6, and then a4, and then you put your queen on b8 and pray.
Yeah.
And I take on d7 or something and make your king live in the center.
Like d5 or whatever.
Right, yeah. So it's an interesting position, but I think I think that position's pretty dicey too.
So does the Milner-Barry gambit just win for white?
No, but it's hard to play.
Okay.
I mean, there's more there than
if you're
not
a black
refuted.
French player, you've got to be.
You got to know something about these lines.
Yeah.
They're not simple by any means. But she played rook c8, which makes sense, right?
Right. Did she not think of b4 as a possible move?
Well, of course
maybe?
b4 is coming, but I mean,
maybe
in some ways this move seems just as logical as bishop e7, right? I mean, you're still threatening to take in one go, maybe if you need to later on. It makes sense to put the rook here. But I think it actually just makes black's position worse in some ways.
You played a very attractive game, let me just tell you that right now.
It was very satisfying after
really
last week when I didn't know what
played.
Was going on at all.
That game
was really bad.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that game.
Yeah. Don't let them use it in the lecture. This is the first game in this tournament where I feel like I haven't been losing at some point in the game, which is a nice feeling. Okay, so b4 is natural, right? This is the move I should have played in the previous game.
Okay.
Actually, this is identical to our position, except that she had f5 and instead of rook c8.
Okay.
And here's where I should have played b4 and instead went crazy.
Got you.
But b4 is good here too. And she did something that felt kind of suicidal to me, although it wasn't instantly obvious what to do about it. She took on b4, which seems like a move you just can't possibly play.
Yeah, 96 was just...
I assumed like a6, a4, queen b8 or something, and then I decided what to do.
Very similar to the...
Right, do I take on d7 right away? The bishop can't go anywhere, so maybe I don't. Maybe there's something better to do. I don't know, but I was going to think after that.
Well, if I was black, I would rather... Well, I guess the rook is now on the other side of the queen, so that's probably better than having played bishop.
Right, but there's some positions actually where you play queen b8, and then you try to play bishop c8, so you don't have to take back on d7.
Why would black want to do something like this in the opening? When
You're
I'm black,
playing the French.
You're playing the French. That's
as a long-time French aficionado. Yeah,
you were too?
I love the French. I just don't think these knight c6 lines are great. I think they're a little bit torturous. I mean, even if you can prove that there's an advantage for black here, they're very unpleasant.
Okay.
So she took, after a really long thought, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, is this a real move? Because knight e6, right?
Right.
And I mean, at least your rook's on c8, so
and
knight
now
c7 check.
every move was forcing and strong for you.
Sure, I thought she was going to sack her queen, honestly. I was like,
I thought so
I didn't know
too.
what was happening. Yeah, but okay, so she moved her queen.
And maybe sacking the queen was the right
Maybe.
decision.
Well, it's all pretty
Didn't
bad.
look
I
good,
think.
yeah.
So I think we just trade. We put
Oh,
the
so I wanted to ask you.
yeah.
Did you? I mean, the position is really getting crazy here.
Right, yeah,
Even,
yeah.
even Bishop B5 is a candidate move with the idea of Bishop B5, Rook C8, Queen B5, Rook C8, Bishop C8, Knight C7.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I didn't see
Yeah,
Bishop
yeah,
B5 at
that's
all.
true.
I mean, I don't know, but it's
Yeah.
it's just like you've got
Oh,
Knight
man.
E6 and
Yeah, I mean, maybe she can
Actually,
play Knight
we did
C6
see
or
a
something.
variation like similar to that. Yeah.
Maybe she has to play Knight C6 then to hold things together.
yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, that's crazy. I didn't see that move at all. Yeah.
I just want.
Yes, and he is all smiles,
Yeah.
and he did win.
Yeah, I did not look at that. I went for what felt
No, we thought
cleaner to me.
Yeah, yeah.
And I
Looks very nice.
well, because now this knight's sort of hung out to dry, right? And so I just played the simple Bishop D2, and it's really uncomfortable.
I think this is close to loss for Black.
Sure, yeah. I mean, it's really bad. I mean, Queen A3 is the only other move besides what she played in the game, and then I think I just played Bishop to B5 check.
Queen A3, and then
I'm sorry, Queen A3, Bishop to B5 check,
and then Queen B1,
and then if Bishop to, well, I don't know if I'd
Yeah.
play that. If like Bishop to D7, I think I just take it and then take on B4 and take on D5 and just say like, why is your king still in the center, right?
Very nice.
So anyway, so Queen B6, which made sense, and now check, knight back. This is what I've been planning, and I thought, okay, I've got good compensation for a pawn here.
you definitely.
I mean, I can win it
do.
back in a lot of different ways, if that's what I'm going for. But obviously, you want a lot more here. And this was a hard position. I was pretty happy with what I came up with eventually.
Yeah,
Because I thought for a long time, well, because there's so many moves.
I
right?
chewed it.
You can play like
Bishop
Bishop
E3.
B5, right?
Yeah.
You can play Knight G5 was tempting. I thought a big candidate move was Queen H4 for a long time,
Okay.
with the idea of just like, okay, now you're really not castling kingside, right? Like I have all this pressure here, but nothing seemed really concrete. And then I realized, oh, the point should be to get my knight to D6, right, before she can castle.
Yeah.
And then things are really ugly, and so this allows that quick transition.
Could she have played Queen C5
instead
of
Yeah.
Queen C7?
I mean, maybe. That gives me queen to or rook to C1 with tempo,
Right.
which
But
might
maybe
be
a
asking
rook-
for it. Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. No, I see. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I thought
I think it's
here-
kind of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Yeah, everything's kind of unpleasant now with the knight on
This is
D4.
very Kasparov.
Right. Well, and I thought for sure she was going to play A6 here.
Right, to prevent this incursion.
Right. And then I can
Horrible.
play. I mean, if nothing else works, I can just play F4, and I can say.
Or
my
maybe
position's better.
Bishop B4 and Bishop D6.
Sure. Yeah, that looks
A6, Bishop, although
potentially
B5
tasty.
is
Also,
possible.
yeah, B5 might be annoying.
But then you could maybe think about sacking on
Right.
B5. I don't know.
I just thought that
Something
there's
to
a
look
lot
at.
here.
Yeah, there's
you know?
a lot. Yeah.
So, but she played knight E6 first, which seemed again suicidal.
Right.
And I think what she missed here is after knight B5, queen takes E5. I think she missed rook E1.
This was so good. Yeah,
And the-
Queen A3 is coming up.
Right, and the problem is, I think maybe she was hoping that she had queen B8, but now I have bishop F4 because the knight on
Oh,
E6
I didn't
is
even
pinned.
see that.
And that's the key. And then it's-
Kyron and I did.
Yeah.
Kyron and I were just looking at Queen A3, which looks strong.
Right.
But right, Bishop F4 is immediately a
yeah,
knockout.
it's just you're dead.
Yeah.
So
That's absolutely true. So Queen H5.
So
is
I think she
forced.
missed it. Well, I thought maybe Queen F6 would be a little bit better, although honestly,
Right, I see that.
because you need to live on the dark squares, right? You need something that can contest this queen coming
Yeah.
to A3. As soon as she played Queen H5, I thought to myself, okay, there's a lot of lines here. You know, there's a lot of checks
Knight
and stuff.
A7 is probably good.
Right, a lot of stuff is good. Although
Yeah.
then maybe she can castle, which is sort of funny, right? You
Oh,
don't want to
that's
let her
true.
out.
That's true.
But Queen A3, she can never get the queen back.
Yeah.
Right? There's no way to contest these
And that's
squares.
much better than Knight D6.
Yeah, because you're going to
Yeah.
play Queen D6 next and mate.
That's just, yeah.
And so A6.
I think this is just losing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really bad now.
Kyron and I could not find a defense for black here.
I really wanted to play Queen D6 here, obviously.
And if A B5.
Then I have to take on B5 before I can play like Bishop B4, and so she has time to play like Queen H4 or something and get back and cover
Okay.
E7 and D8.
Gotcha.
I'm not quite in time. I have all these
Right.
threats, but I didn't see anything, and it seems stupid to do something when
This
it's a
was
really good move.
And Knight B7 was a nice move.
Yeah. Well, I've been wanting to make Knight F7 work in all these ways. I thought for a minute here that I had Bishop to G5 check, And then I realized knight takes in this position. It's
Right.
like, oh, that doesn't work.
Okay.
But yeah, knight b7 is nice, I think.
I think, yeah, we couldn't find a
Knight
defense.
f5 looks good too.
You might have
but-
several wins here.
But deflecting the bishop from d7 is important. I mean, if you want to win the fastest and most concretely, I think this is the
So
way to go.
what did she do? Because we
So
left
she
it
took.
here.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's nothing else to be done, right?
And this is exactly what we analyzed: Queen
Check.
d6, and then Bishop a6.
Right, bishop a6 is coming in all the lines,
That's
right? If
the
you play king to
Chiron and I could
c8,
not find a defense.
king
after
c8,
that.
bishop a6, and then the problem is you're getting mated in all the lines, right?
Yeah,
you can
there's-
play like knight e to
And then Bishop f4.
and then bishop f4 and
Yeah,
it's over.
that's
Or you
exactly
can
what
play
we were
knight
looking
here,
at.
bishop f4, you can play knight f3 check, and if I take, then you can play queen g6, but I just play like king h1 and the bishop guards h2 and the game's over. There's-
Show us the finish.
There's also a line, sorry, there's one more
No,
line.
okay.
If king c8, bishop a6, you can play knight to c7, and then I take on c6, and you play bishop a6, and then bishop f4 wins again.
Right.
So there's a lot
That's
of wins.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So here we go.
These
So
are
this,
very similar to the lines that
yeah,
we were looking
bishop
at.
a6 is
King 8,
simple.
King 8 we thought was just a disaster.
They're all disasters. At least this way, maybe if I'm not careful, like if I play queen a6 right away, she can get the rook out,
Right,
right? And
right.
you know, she's not actually down any material. I still
Right,
have
right,
something.
right.
But this is really fun because so here's the line I wish had happened is king to e7, queen c7 check, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Courtesy of the pin. King f8, queen d8 check, knight takes queen, bishop
Beautiful.
b4 check, king g8, rook e8 mate.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah.
But sadly, that didn't happen.
No.
So.
She played King g5.
But it turns out all these lines are bad. I mean, if she plays king g6, I'm sacking on e6, and it's going to be pretty similar to the game. And after this, it's the same sort of deal.
This is what happened.
Yeah, and there's no way to stop mate if king g6.
What a nice game,
Queen
Andy. What a
h3, king
beautiful
g7,
game.
bishop d2, king h4, g3 mate. Or if king g4, you just play f3, king h4, bishop e1 mate, or f3, king f4, bishop d2 mate. Yeah, that's nice. It's pretty satisfying.
What a nice game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Got to sack a lot of
really
pieces.
nice game. That's the kind of game you'd see in The Informant or something. Yeah, it is.
I don't know.
No, it's a great game.
Friends.
Yeah, no, it
Great
was-
game, and she's a good player.
yeah,
so
yeah. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, once
If there ever is, like,
once I get this knight
It
takes
had that
e6
kind of
stuff,
clockwork,
I
you know,
Yeah.
that classic
Right.
kind of
Right.
like clockwork.
where the pieces are working together,
Yeah,
and I mean the dark
really,
squares
really
are just
nice.
completely destroyed and that sort
Yeah.
of thing. So
Congratulations.
thanks, yeah.
With that trio, I'm aware.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Gotta
Do you want to
keep my
quickly, since I've got you here,
Sure, yeah. You want to look at some games?
some of the,
Ezra's game.
yeah, what happened here? We left it off at here where he looked like he would kind of almost blown it.
Yeah, I mean
A
the
little
plan
bit.
is that it's
He was impatient. I'm not sure what
Yeah.
happened. Knight of 6 was
Ezra sometimes gets
cool-headed.
impatient. Yeah,
He's a
okay.
young player.
And so bishop back, and so I guess the
This is
idea
looking
here,
really nice for white.
right? So that's
isn't
the
it?
thing. Even though he was impatient, I think there's still a lot of cheese here. Right. So he takes, and now when the bishop takes, he's got queen to e4 is the key move.
Is he winning here to bring the queen back over to h4?
Right. Isn't this close to well? Oh, does it not work? Hey, let's go back a second. Can you not? You don't have time to play queen h4 check.
If rook
King
f6,
g8, rook f6, rook f6.
gf6.
Oh, gf6. These are the positions that Ivanov has been surviving all
I know,
tournament long.
it's like not fair. Yeah.
He's
Okay.
been playing great defense though. Okay, so this sort of makes sense, I guess. But yeah,
And now Ezra's thinking.
he's thinking. Yeah, it does sort of feel like he's. I mean, he's not down any material. His position is still good.
Yeah.
There's that.
And knight's just taking back with the knight probably would be
Right,
you
because
know.
the knight on f6 is still pinned. I mean,
Yeah.
he could throw in queen h4.
right, and then take back.
Right.
But let's go back to here.
Yeah,
Let's go
before he
back
went
to
crazy,
here.
because this
Let's-
position looks great, right?
This, yeah. Let's go back. to
Right,
here.
and there was this trade.
This, I mean,
this trade on
Ivanov has
e4.
just played like this is
I saw an IM play like this once, and it blew my mind, and he won the game somehow. Cause,
okay. Yeah, this is just it's.
but he's
not-
got all the wrong pawns forward, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Ezra's got this classically
Okay, so
beautiful
now-
position.
White could take back with the pawn, I think, because bishop h2
Bishop
check
h2.
doesn't work. King g1.
Sure.
And if you play Queen H4,
You have bishop.
Knight G4, King G1, Queen H4, Rook F8, right?
Right.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Knight
and then
F8?
you have bishop f4 at the end or something.
Rook
I don't know.
Oh, maybe
it's
that's
so
not
simple.
so.
But
okay.
can't you also put your king on g3 maybe? And I don't know. It's tricky.
Knight E4 looks good.
Sure, I understand why
yeah.
he would want to avoid that potentially.
Okay, so Knight E4 looks
Yeah.
good. I mean, structurally as well.
Yeah. Right. I mean, now you're on c6 also.
And now-
like you're just on everything.
Could you take back with the pawn?
He
here?
did. He did.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Could you take with the bishop?
You could probably take back with anything you want.
Yeah, with anything you want. Just I agree.
And taking with the bishop looks fine, but taking with the pawn looks quite good. I mean, if
does.
you're Ezra and you want to deliver mate.
Okay.
Right. So queen b6.
So now he
Seems
decides
pretty
not
necessary.
to play King H1
King h1 looks pretty obvious, doesn't it?
instead of E5, which is like, you know, maybe could have, or Rook, just play
Yeah.
Rook F1, Rook F8 first, and then you're guaranteed. It'll take a while for Black to unravel.
Maybe, yeah.
Over there.
That's true. Yeah, although then he's defending h7,
Right.
which is sort of against what you want. Yeah, but it does look like king h1 should be good enough, right?
Instead,
Just
we
play-
get this
just play
impatient
chess, okay.
move, and
Yeah.
and it's maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you should have taken an e4 with the bishop instead of the pawn. Maybe this position wasn't as good as you. I mean, I don't hate what Ezra did here.
Right, and he's giving Black chances to go wrong, like Knight H7, D takes E5.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, he's giving Black
Yeah.
chances to go wrong,
Right.
which, you know, is.
Yeah,
but-
Black's trying to fight back somehow here. This was all for this queen e4 move is the problem.
Yeah, which.
This
yeah.
this like pseudo queen sack that.
To get the queen over to H4, which doesn't even work. Well, or doesn't. It's
Yeah.
scary, but.
Isn't that a mate E2 for white?
No.
No. 'cause-
Queen H4, King G8.
Yeah, and then
Queen H7 is.
Knight
There's a
H7, Knight
Oh,
H7. And if you play Rook F6, you can play G takes F6.
yeah, that's the issue. Okay, so he takes with the knight. There's no queen h2 stuff here, although it's close.
Now here's where you just want to be like, okay, let Black make a couple bad moves, and then I'll just I'll be positionally
sure, yeah.
dominating him, and maybe Queen H4, Knight E4 is
Right, you
really
are-
strong
yeah.
anyway, you know.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be rough. I mean, Black's position throughout this game, regardless of what's happened, has looked sort of
Yeah,
bad.
and this actually looks really strong now. Queen H4, Knight E4.
Yeah, because you're coming knight g5 also potentially, right?
It looks like almost like game over.
Yeah.
Look at
Black
that.
just can't fight for these squares. So okay, so if you're
Simple
Black
as
here, what do
that.
you do?
God, resign. Look at this, it's terrible. Suddenly,
bad.
all of a sudden,
Yeah,
it's
bad. I mean, can you play bishop g4 here to keep the queen off h4? I mean, was it a mistake for Ezra to not play queen h4 check first?
Right, because Rook F6
I guess
is
if bishop,
ridiculous.
I guess if
Yeah.
bishop g4, I take on f6 and then I take your bishop, is the issue.
Yeah, and then
So
That's
that's not
Ivanov
really
can try to
helping.
defend that.
yeah, that's really going to be gross. I mean, yeah,
Well, this is funny, simple chess,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it looks almost helpless now for Black.
Yeah. Oh, maybe Ezra's a genius. Maybe all these moves are the best.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Should we keep looking at
Yeah.
stuff? I mean, this looks good.
Winslow
This
Shaw.
game.
Yeah,
You want to keep going? I
we
mean,
can from this
I
position.
didn't like what Elliot did here with this e4 break.
On the other hand, Black's a little softened up on the queen side.
A little. Well, that's why he did it, I think.
Right.
But I'm not really sure. I mean, they've played some moves since I last looked, and Elliot, like, kind of, you know, slowly is working on improving his position. But
And that's an interesting
Whoa.
choice.
yeah,
That is not my first candidate move.
he's worried about rook
Rook
h8
H8 and Queen D7,
I
I guess. But
Huh. Well, and so that's why I don't love Elliot's choice here, is because I feel like he basically put all his eggs in this basket of like, oh, I'm gonna pressure you on this diagonal, but
Or
there's
play
nothing.
B5,
There's nothing
yeah.
there though. Yeah. I mean, there hasn't been anything there for a long time.
unless White can play B5.
Yeah.
Why take with the F pawn?
Well, it's, yeah, I mean, he
Is-
wants...
if you take back with the H pawn,
Take back with the H pawn, can I just play rook H8?
I mean, is that mate?
I'm gonna play queen D7 next, I don't know. Might be mate. It's not. Well, I mean, you always have knight to H4, I guess. Maybe G5.
Knight, maybe you play B5, and then if Queen G7, King F1, and
Right,
just
right.
like head to the hills.
Yeah, and just say
and
goodbye. Yeah,
and-
there aren't that
and-
many pieces on the board. Yeah, I don't know. This seems
That seems wrong.
like things have gone a little bit south. I mean, I don't know that Tenzing's like a ton better, but that
No.
3 squared is a little bit tasty now. And he might not be better at all. It might just be kind
Yeah,
of
it's just-
dynamically equal. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tricky. Okay, he
tricky.
played rook D7 here, so he said
He's
okay.
just sitting tight.
He's just
Okay,
trading
that's
pieces.
a good.
Yeah,
That's a good plan.
yeah.
That's probably a good plan. Although, are you
what's up,
hanging a
Paul?
pawn?
Yeah, what's happening?
Yeah, what's going on here, guy? Okay, 97, bishop d4 check at the end.
Right, you can take this other pawn back. That's interesting.
That's probably equal to.
Sure, maybe black's even like a hair better. or
Yeah.
something. Well, I don't know. Probably. Yeah, it's a tricky game.
Yep.
It's gonna be interesting.
It's very interesting, I think. And then, okay, this guy. Oh man.
This seemed fun.
What happened
so
to King Bishop A3 check?
he played it.
Yeah. This was yeah.
Oof, 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 oof.
This is just
Can't play D4 now. Why didn't he play D4? Oh, he has B6.
or King. Oh yeah. King G6 maybe, and can bring the king up to D5.
Could you play B4 here?
White had a lot of play here. Yeah.
Sorry. So okay. I saw where he played F3.
F3. That's
Doesn't-
a little slow.
Yeah, it doesn't. seem like that.
doesn't seem like the
Maybe
right
maybe
move.
your position's just great and you don't care about any of this stuff.
He wants to prevent knight e4.
Sure. Now the knight
And
goes
he's
to
playing
H5.
it this way.
Now he plays
Now he
B4.
plays your b4 move. Before he should have.
Yeah, I
Wait a
don't,
minute.
I don't quite know
It's
because
it
now
does-
F3 hangs.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. There's a lack of consistency here.
Yeah, this is not. Well, okay, so he finally got through, but now his position is just stupid.
You know,
Not to be
there's a
rude.
lack of consistency here.
Yeah, what are you gonna play?
And now the bishop at a3 is
Oh, maybe it's not stupid. Okay.
king g8.
Yeah, okay, maybe it is stupid. It's always so hard to know, right? Like you miss one move.
Yeah,
and then
yeah. Knight d5.
Knight D5. That's what's happening.
With the idea of playing.
Yeah.
Edward Lewis says rook
Rook
takes
takes
c5,
C5, yeah.
too late.
Yeah. God, this is a mess now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a real
Can you play
mess.
D3 check here? I guess you just put your king back on E1 and
And that's plugging the C file. That makes sense in a way. But
what a crazy mess of a game. Yeah,
that-
I don't.
Yeah.
Feels like
Feels
black
like
is-
everybody's blundering.
Yeah, well, and it feels like black is maybe holding it together here, right? Oh, look, we got a move, a live move. So you can take on G3 and then play knight E7 check, but then you're only down in exchange. But I don't
Yeah,
think
but
that really.
then rook g2 check comes and
Oh, here's an idea. What if you take on G3 and then play rook to C7?
trying to mate him.
Yep.
And if rook g6,
Then I play knight E7.
and then king g7.
Oh, that's true. So you're defending your rooks. That's less fun than I had hoped for.
I'll give something back if I have to.
I mean, the other thing I could
and
do.
I will have to.
Oh, this doesn't work. Yeah, so rook G3, H5, but then you have bishop G4 check, and that should get you out of trouble too, probably.
Crazy game.
The question.
All right, let's move on. This game is too.
Oh,
messy.
you know what you also have here?
Okay. What?
Sorry, so
No,
you could take on G3, rook takes knight E7 check.
king g7.
Well then, oh no, the bishop covers F5. Okay, just kidding.
Okay,
I don't know
I see.
anything.
Yeah, no.
There's too many tactics.
This was game.
Yeah, this one looked rough.
Let's see what.
Saw it at this point.
Yeah. Not. Wow. Bishop d6. Oh, the rook. Bishop c2.
Tricks.
No. Bishop d6. Rook
Yeah.
c7, bishop c7, rook
Rook
c2,
C2.
ef3, rook c7.
Yeah, that's the trick.
Jeez.
And she's just winning at the end of this.
Yeah. Is that what happened?
This appears to be
Oh
what
my
happened.
gosh.
And then she.
Oh,
took-
she-
then-
oh,
Then he
that-
took it.
okay.
Okay. Well,
Now it's an equal.
yeah, it's not simple.
No.
Is it actually equal here?
Knight g8 was a crazy looking move, wasn't it?
Yeah, but you want to keep the c4 pawn.
Yeah.
You're definitely not equal if you lose that guy.
Right. No, that's true.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Well, I'd rather have white, but if I was black, I might feel that I should be able to draw this somehow. But
yeah. I guess it comes down to, I mean, it's a good thing you have knight e7. It comes down to, are there going to be problems with this knight? Right? Like, if I can play something like
Yeah.
rook a7, rook a6, and rook e6 or something
Right.
here.
I would think black would have enough to be able resources to draw this.
I guess the idea is if the rook moves off the d file, I can play bishop d6 maybe, and then if the rook comes to a6, I can play king to
e5,
e5, and everything's sort of holding together.
I would guess.
Okay, well he went for it. This is maybe not the recommended method.
Try to trade all the pawns.
Yeah.
Well, knight f5 is an idea. I mean,
Sure,
it's
that's
active.
true.
It's
Okay,
active.
Yeah, it's not the fortress
And
way.
to play e3.
Maybe
and-
you're in Zugzwang here also.
That's true. And if black can play e3 and then keep that pawn at e3,
You
it
can always
might be
move the
difficult.
bishop. But if you could put the bishop on b8, then
I
back on
can't believe
e5.
that white has a win here.
Yeah.
It's getting a little bit
Yeah.
freaky.
I don't like this bishop b2 move.
Yeah, neither do I.
I feel like white's position is improving
And
here.
yeah, and black maybe shouldn't have played ef2. Maybe knight
Maybe.
f5. What's wrong with knight f5?
It seems like a reasonable move.
Oh, rook
yeah.
f7 made.
That's what's wrong with it. Yeah, okay. Well,
Okay.
now we know.
All right.
So he wants to play knight f5. And
see.
the other thing is that black is currently up 40 minutes on the
And
clock. Or
that's-
white's up 40 minutes on the
That's
clock.
Michael Walzer for you.
It's going to be rough.
Yeah. Okay.
Anything else interesting here?
Well, I want to look at these bottom boards. Okay, so this, so let's see. Bishop c3 was played. Rook c1. What happens after rook c1? Queen. Oh.
Tricks. Do I understand the tricks?
I don't. What happens after rook c3?
You trade on c3 and play e2?
That's what happens.
Right.
That's what happens.
And then,
Wow.
and then if rook e3, queen takes e3, f e3, queen e1, pawn e1, queen mate.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not
It's
mate.
not
You
mate,
can defend.
queen f1, but still, it's
Sure,
yeah.
you're winning.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay, queen e2. Players are seeing more than we are. So black got away with this. Oh, well, he's got to play queen e5.
Yeah, I mean,
The pin remains.
the jury is still out.
The pin remains. All right, so what did he do to try to... Yeah,
King
I think black
H1.
should be able to extricate himself.
Really?
King h1.
Maybe not. What if I play queen?
f3.
And I couldn't play queen f3 before because bishop g4 check. Yeah,
g3.
that's a cute idea. Force the
Threatening
queens
and
off.
threatens g6.
Now this pin is going to be very uncomfortable. You can't ever get out, right? What's to stop me from playing knight d2? Yeah, that's what happened.
And knight b1.
Although I don't have a lot of pawns left in this ending now.
That's
Maybe I shouldn't have been so... Maybe I should have played like b5 or something. Well, I guess you don't want to
And
allow...
rook a4 anyway. Oh, I see.
Yeah, you don't want to give the c5 square away.
Yikes.
Yeah, you'd like to win this piece in the cleanest way possible. Okay.
But it's not so easy. Okay,
Yeah,
so what
okay,
happened?
so this happens.
And that's a good move.
93.
I mean, only it's necessary, I think, because the players are checking. Oh, this is-
Krosky.
I'm glad they drew.
They haven't drawn yet.
No one trying yet.
It's interesting.
I don't think black wants to pitch that d6 pawn.
I feel like white should be playing for a win here.
Okay, all right.
I mean, couldn't you even play in this position? Couldn't you even just take on d6 and and then rook takes, and then
Yeah.
and you could check on c8, king g7. You probably don't want to do that. You could also just play knight c8 at the end, and the rook goes to d7. Maybe it's not real simple to do stuff there. You could play knight b5. No, you can't because there's okay.
Okay.
Just kidding.
No. It's interesting stuff.
Yeah.
So what happened?
It seems like this early knight c4 in this position might have been questionable. Although rook d4 is coming. Shoot. Yeah, what do you do here?
It could actually be an evenly sort of balanced position.
Okay.
It's possible.
Totally could. I mean, you could play rook c8 check first, and then knight c4.
Right.
No.
I like that idea.
Yeah. They drawn yet, or are we still
No.
Oh, they've made a lot of repetitions.
Oh,
though.
they've made a lot of reps,
It
yeah.
seems so likely that
Okay, so let's take a look at this.
this last game here.
Okay, yeah, this was Ella Papanek, King G7, which avoided the threat of Knight G6 and taking on F6.
Sure. Okay.
But
I'll email you the
yeah.
W9.
White is putting a lot of pressure on black.
You couldn't. Can we go back a second?
Yeah.
In this position, you couldn't just take on f6 and play g4.
And if King F7, Bishop C4.
That does seem to do it, doesn't it?
Okay,
Maybe. Yeah.
interesting.
Okay. Maybe that's
Okay.
not a good idea.
repetition.
Well, now you could. Well, okay, you can't play g4 yet, but now you have g4 coming with tempo. Right?
Yeah. And they're
This is
thinking
it. Wow. They have a lot of moves.
these guys are they're taking a lot of time on
It's a
their
hard
moves.
position.
It is. It's been a hard game.
Yeah, I
It's
believe
been
Let me check.
it's been a tough game. This is the top board in the A section.
Okay, cool.
And now let's take a look at the
that's
top
interesting.
board in the under 1600 section.
Okay.
And
This game was drawn.
was it drawn?
Well, that's what the digital
Okay.
board is telling me.
All right. Wow.
Doesn't it seem like white should be winning? Except maybe
Except for he's-
he's getting mated. Okay.
Right. Let's go back here.
So white may be
Elliot dropped.
White was winning
white
back
may be
here.
overpressed.
I think White was winning back here.
Yeah, somewhere in this position.
And let's just, because this is where
Yeah.
we left off.
Okay.
And White is making progress, it seems to
Yeah,
me,
for sure.
and should probably be winning here.
Yeah, this seems over. Can't you wait, go back? Can't you play bishop to
D7.
d7 here? That seems like the missed opportunity.
Yes, Bishop D7. Yeah.
It's just completely over, isn't it? Maybe you take on d4 there.
I
and
mean,
hope there's no mate.
That's maybe what
Seems
you have
very
to do.
hard to believe.
Yeah. Let's see what happens.
It looks like there's a mate.
Ezra won.
Ezra
Yeah.
won.
Okay. And that blows the tournament wide open.
Right. No, that's
F4. So White's just kind of clamping down.
Yeah, now there's counterplay. I mean, yeah, this was not the incisive way to
Yeah.
go here.
Okay.
You're still
It's
probably
still
winning. Bishop
gotta be a
d7.
win.
Oh yeah, bishop c6 is not so good probably, right? Bishop to d7 here.
But although Queen H6 is check and defends E6.
Okay, you win.
I mean, I
It's
don't
no good.
know, but
Yeah, you're right.
Black is finding this.
And this is where.
This is where
Did you win?
Yeah, I won.
You look like you had a pretty
he
win.
takes the pawn, which
Yeah.
was
You took the pawn, but yeah, it's just okay. Well,
But
I'll
this-
let Ezra take over for me.
okay, Ezra.
He has things to tell you
It
as the
looks
new
to me like
tournament
you
leader.
played a nice game.
No, tied with Ivan already.
No, you went a half a point ahead of him.
I
Right?
am?
How many points do you have right now?
I didn't check.
How many points do you have in the tournament?
I don't know. I didn't check. I forgot. No.
Wait a minute. Okay, Ezra, you just overhauled.
I would forget
You
my name.
you are the sole leader of the tournament.
I am. Wow, I thought I was tied with Ivan.
You are the sole leader of the tournament now,
Sweet.
going into the last two rounds.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
good.
All right. We have
the tournament leader here, folks, who played what I thought, Andy and I thought was kind of like, oh, he's blowing it, but then we realized
Oh, really?
Black's just lost. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
And,
there's a lot of ways, I think.
first of all, this was knight c3. Black was totally lost.
Yeah,
here.
yeah, I think
and we
so.
didn't realize it at first.
Because knight comes to g5. It's just,
Yeah. Okay. So let's show us this game. I mean, this was not a well played opening by.
not by either side particularly. I
No,
don't
no,
think.
particularly by Black, who just
Yeah.
took way too many positional chances.
Concessions without money
Yeah.
benefits. But I actually was expecting King's Indian for some reason.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
anyway, we got this weird thing. So I know knight f3 and e4 are the main theoretical moves, but knight f3, d takes e4, bishop g5 is not supposed to be that good for white, and that's the extent of the theoretical knowledge I know there. I thought this plan with e3 stops f5 because when the knight goes to e2, black goes f3.
I mean,
white
of
goes
course,
f3
Black can
forward.
play this, but
Yeah,
it's,
I mean-
it's not.
Reeve played that against me.
John Grave with black or white?
It was black.
Wow.
And
He was
what
US
happened-
champion,
And what
right?
happened in the game?
I did win.
You won.
Wow.
Okay.
Turned into a Dutch with E3.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the whole point, I guess, of bishop d3 is to try to pull off to stop f5, I guess. But you know, it's a determined f5 player. So yeah, here I said I'm gonna play castles in f3, but I don't want to allow bishop h2, which may or may not work.
Right. Just play f3 first.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe somewhere I should throw in b3, but I don't think
I
it's
mean,
particularly good for black.
yeah. I think it was Andy Lee said he'd seen some international master play this way with Black.
Yeah, there's
But
somewhere
I-
where white should play b3.
But I don't think that this is good for Black. Positionally, it's bankrupt, and
Yeah.
and
You steal from your service.
Well, one of my ideas,
morally bankrupt move. Yeah.
one of my ideas was maybe to play. If he ever goes e5, sometimes I can take it and go f4 and then e4. Maybe
Right.
sometimes.
Sure.
It's an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a
I
move
don't-
I cannot like.
Well, I thought he was gonna play knight a6 here. Like that's what I thought what the point was.
Yeah. I mean, to me,
Yeah.
it looks like this is just like
He's just giving up too much.
She's giving up too much.
He's not going c5 anytime soon. Usually in the Slav, like you play for b5 and then try to play c5 and put the bishop on b7. But even here, the bishop wouldn't be that effective on b7. Yeah,
And that
a5.
just didn't make any sense.
Maybe I could have gone e4 here. I'm not 100% sure. Like that would have been more correct.
What? Oh yeah, we should
Oh,
put your
yeah,
name
okay, yeah,
down.
thanks.
Yeah, I've got Andy Lee's name here. I can do this one. I
Andy
got
Lee.
this. You are not Andy Lee. Yeah.
Not Andy Lee.
All right.
Yeah, maybe
I'm
you know.
I'm not on my game here. This is Ezra Chambers, folks, and not Andy Lee. Andy Lee has left the building.
Yeah.
Shoot it.
Oh, well. So,
Okay.
Yeah, maybe e4 is more principal move. Well, it is more principal move, but I don't know. Bishop
Developing,
d2.
he's
Yeah.
playing one bad move after another. So let him make another bad
Yeah,
move.
that kind of was part of the point. But yeah. But you know, so e4 finally comes. I think he has to take it. e5 is a threat, and like.
And we looked a little bit at whether you could take back with the pawn, but
I don't know if there's like, I don't know. There's more threats after knight takes e4.
yeah, 94 is good enough.
f4 e5 maybe. It doesn't-
Uh-huh.
I wasn't 100% sure like how to continue.
We really questioned your move e5. That was the move that we
Really, but then I'm
Yeah.
worse. I think here if I don't, not worse, but like black goes e5.
Well, we just thought that you could play king h. Yeah. Do you really think e5 with black lagging in development? Maybe.
I think he has to, otherwise
Okay.
he's
Yeah.
lost.
Sure. Interesting.
And
Very
after e5,
interesting.
like my queen's on c2 and bishop on d3. It's
How'd you
not
do,
so fair.
Tenzing?
Draw.
You guys drew. I'm going to give you guys the.
Sorry.
No, after.
Gonna-
Well, let's just. So e5.
Yeah, I thought e5
That
was the
an
only chance for
interesting- that was-
advantage.
Yeah, well, you're
I might even be worse.
living the game. So, yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I might even be worse if I let him play e5.
That's an interesting thought.
Because my queen on c2 and bishop on d3 won't make sense.
That's
Just staring at e4.
Very good point.
I'll have a worse pawn structure.
Very good point.
I mean, maybe I can drum up some attack some other way, but I thought if I'm gonna drum up an attack, why wouldn't I take the h7 pawn?
Well, okay. Rage your viewers.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
I've heard of that. I don't know exactly what that is, but
That's when the stream is over. You can, I guess, tell your viewers. to
Eric
go
told
in.
me that once actually.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. Do you stream?
No,
On
I
Twitch?
wish.
Well, why you could, right?
I could, yeah.
I guess you have to download some software and have a microphone.
Be good at Blitz. Have interesting things to say.
Or you can become a commentator and show off great games.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Maybe someday.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Wait till
here
you're
I
a
think it's-
grandmaster.
Yeah, here I think it's well, hopefully. I think it's like black is undeveloped.
Why didn't he try bishop d4 check?
I think
Maybe he should.
one idea is king h1 and knight f4 is a really big threat.
That's true.
And then also knight takes d4 and bishop c3 followed by bishop takes c7 check is another threat.
All right. Okay.
There's a lot of threats.
I believe it.
And he's
Yeah,
not very
yeah.
very well developed here. I don't know, but even if I went knight takes d4 and then king h1, even if that, which I could do starting with king h1.
Right.
I have a lot of
Black's in trouble.
he has weak squares. I have
It's
dark
funny
square
how
bishop.
Andy and I just kind of gradually realized that Black was completely busted.
Yeah, well, a similar
At
thing
first we
happened
were
in
like,
my
"Wow,
bracket.
Ezra's let him off the hook," and then we just kept looking at the position, going like, "Black is lost."
Yeah,
it's funny how it.
It's pretty hard. Very.
Oh,
hard
we
to
have
manage.
23 other. Little way to go, but very soon you'll be at Andy Lee's level. Are you talking to me? Andy Lee, I could give him pawn and move back in the day.
The old school. You can
Okay.
bring the old school revenge.
All right, so let's see. So knight f6.
Yeah, and king h1. I think knight h7, d5 is just lost for black.
G takes e5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bishop takes d4.
That was an interesting, yeah.
Interesting move. Rook f4. And if
Okay.
knight takes h7, rook h4, rook f5, knight takes d4. No.
Oh yeah. Nice.
So
Nice.
yeah, I think this is the only
Variations.
move. Oh shoot.
That's okay.
What happened? Okay, yeah.
Bishop d6.
So I think bishop d6 is the only move. Bishop g6, e5 I think is another only move. Otherwise queen d3.
Otherwise queen d3.
Something like c5, queen d3, e5, queen g3.
Okay.
I think.
All right.
Yeah, and then here I saw this nice thingy. Queen e4. Queen's coming to h4.
That's
think it's
pretty
over.
nice. That's
I think
pretty
bishop
nice.
takes b2 is
He's
the best
taken,
try, but
he's
it's also
taken
lost.
way too many chances in this game.
Yeah. His king is too weak. I have threats, and he's so undeveloped still.
Queen c7. He's hanging on
He
by
needs
a
like a rook
thread.
on the queen side up or something.
Yeah. And this beautiful, simple move just kills him.
Yeah, I
It's
thought it was
amazing
like
how
simple,
he's
pretty
dead
much.
after that.
Yeah, and actually I was thinking queen h4 check first, but then I thought knight takes c3 asks more questions. I think rook a7 is only move.
He's got. Yeah, we realized he was just completely busted here.
Well, knight takes b5 is even a threat.
Yeah.
It was like I think so. I thought he had to go rook a7 here, and then just try to be passive and hold.
But the threat of queen h4 and knight e4
yeah,
is just.
and then knight
it's
g5.
just nothing he can do.
Yeah, he resigned. The rook a7 is just lost actually, but I thought it was probably best tried because here he doesn't even have the bishop on the diagonal.
That's it.
And then when there's no way to stop my bishop h7, bishop f5, and
Right.
there's just no way to stop it. So yeah, and then resigned.
Nice game.
Thank
Nice
you.
game. Yeah, and you're the tournament leader, man. With 2
Feels
rounds
good.
to go. Yeah. You deserve it. I
Is
think you
Carmen
put-
tied with Conrado?
They drew their game.
They're both on,
and they both have. Conrado has
Okay,
4.
so I'm playing Chiron
Chiron
blind,
has
that's
4.5. Ivanov has 4.5, and you have 5.
So I gotta be playing Chiron. Okay.
You haven't played him yet.
No, I'm not sure with white or black though. I'd probably
Actually, you just
black.
blew it because we could have had that variation if he had won, but because he drew, that means that you're higher ranked than he is. Therefore, you alternate, not him.
Yeah, I'm black, right? Against him.
Yeah, if he had
Yeah.
won, then he would have ultimated.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotten white. Again.
That's okay, you
I know,
know.
I'm joking, but still, it's fun.
Yeah. He played weirdly in this round, you know. C5 move I thought was a pretty bad
It was
move.
bad, yeah. He actually was worse when they agreed to a
Yeah.
draw. But Conrado's a peacefully.
Yeah, sometimes.
Do you want to show your game? You and Elliot?
I
No?
don't know, like, how
No?
fascinating it was.
I thought you were better at one point.
Like which point?
Like when your bishop was on G5, you want bishop F6 or something, but like I think maybe you can try to bring
Well,
your
that's
knight to
okay.
E4.
There was a peaceful draw with
I don't know,
Elliot's.
You want to look at it?
I don't know. I was just saw it briefly. Like it's like
Yeah.
if you get two bishops out of Queen's Gambit, then like you know.
Yeah.
Tenzing, it wasn't
No,
the
it's
most
terrible.
interesting game of the round, probably. But on the other hand, it wasn't a bad
Thank you.
game. The people who were watching it have made a few comments, and that's, let's see, where is Ezra Chambers? Take him off, and Tenzing Shaw, put him on. Boom. Okay, I'm here with VA Master Tenzing Shaw, who's going to
Just
show us.
National Master.
Oh yeah, National Master. Okay. Let me see. There's the DGT boards that we need to interact with. Ta-da. So we don't have to spend an hour on it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what we were.
I'm curious what you thought.
Well, there were a couple of moves in the opening that caught my attention. This was the first one.
Yeah, I expected, of course, Bishop takes A7.
But Elliot's on the cutting edge of theory, so
Bishop E2, cutting edge of theory?
Yeah.
I haven't seen nothing yet.
okay. Bishop E2.
I just thought I'd do something different. That was what it was.
I don't know.
Okay, so what happened
Do I
was
have
even more curious. Bishop H5, Bishop E2, and now okay, so this makes sense to me.
Another dance of the opposite color bishops.
But why does White play Bishop D3 here? Why does White play Bishop D3 here? Why?
Do you think White
Elliot,
should play E4?
But I mean, why not just? Doesn't it waste another move with the bishop? Couldn't White play castles and Rook B1 and B4 without playing Bishop D3?
I suppose, but
I
when my
guess you're
knight
gonna play
moves, they'll
Bishop
be Bishop
F5. Yeah. So okay, well everybody's just dancing around and happy.
So I was kind of nervous, but I don't know much about these, like how to defend against the minority
Who
attack.
does? I mean, there's yeah.
I mean, I felt like I shouldn't be much worse, but it was a little bit uncomfortable.
Well, we had more criticisms of Elliot's moves than yours. So he's managed to do one thing, which is soften up your queen side a little bit.
So
right?
here I could try F. That was an interesting moment.
I think queen e6 is fine.
F, I think E4.
You might play h4 or something, right? Or you've
Well,
got
H4, E5, but I think E4 for White.
Okay, that makes sense.
Maybe
Yeah.
White isn't time to like
This
prevent
is
E5.
solid. And now e4, I don't think that gives White anything, but maybe he doesn't have anything anyway. Bishops of opposite colors.
I don't know. I'm going to try doing it now. My friend is fresh.
Could White try
I guess
e5,
E5
but
is
then
the
you're going to
correct
play c5 at some point.
E5 is a little bit risky, maybe.
Yeah. Especially since his rooks are in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready.
He is not able to decide whether he wants a minority attack or... We thought this was rather even.
Oh, I think it's asbestos. Yeah, I thought.
And now why
I thought
not
you
take
had
with the
Because
H pawn?
Rook H8's uncomfortable.
Well, then we thought
I
b5,
thought B5.
and if queen d7, king f1, and like go for it.
Take a little walk, eh?
Yeah, and Queen H3, King E2, and like the Queen side, he's actually getting what he wanted, maybe, and maybe there's just not enough fire. But I mean, see, just like HG. Maybe you just played what you did, Rook D7 or something. But FG.
Yeah.
Any thoughts
Queen's
here?
coming to E4. But if I play Queen E4, I guess, I mean, can White trade and play Knight E5?
And trade them off that way. Actually, I thought you were playing Rook or whatever it be to see to E8 better.
I thought you might have B5 at some point.
I never saw it working.
So Queen E4 takes, and Knight
Knight
E5,
E5. I don't know what that is.
and then
Yes.
F5.
Or I could go.
F5, Knight C6, maybe.
No, I mean,
I don't know what.
oh, I see. No, take
I
in
don't know what's going
F5.
on.
Take on E5 and then play
Yeah,
F5.
and then E2 takes, and then I'm winning that endgame actually, because I have the outside pass.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's why you took with the F pawn.
One reason. I wasn't quite it. I was wondering when I was going to play H4 and you really not.
This is international master Elliot Winslow
Wuthering and
between
Wuthering.
the two masters, Tenzing Shaw. For those watching, thanks Tenzing.
Thanks.
Yeah. All right. We're wrapping up the tournament, the round 6 rather, here at the Tuesday Night Marathon. Thanks for all of you who have been here. We still have some games to look at. A lot of the top boards are done. In fact, it looks like we only have one more game in the A section, which is Ella Papanek, the top board in the A section. Ella Papanek versus Mansour Mohammed, and it's been a really a tough fight here. G5 is threatened. Both players you can actually see the game on the upper part of the screen. The players, on the right hand side, Ella Papanek is in the blue hat, and Mansour is with his back to us in the white shirt up there. And so this has been a really hard fought game. And Judith knows, Mansour, I don't know him at all. So can White play pawn takes pawn, rook h5, which threatens rook takes g5 check, maybe? What about pawn takes pawn, rook h5?
Who are you talking to?
You.
What about it?
Oh, then bishop g6, and if rook g5, knight d3 check. Okay, so king d2 with the idea. Okay, so bishop e4. I don't know.
I just was looking at that game.
Yeah,
Jeez, no.
we saw you looking at it over there.
Yeah, it doesn't look so good for White. Just b6 even. Just
You don't think? Well, isn't hg5 and rook h5 a threat?
only sort of.
And if king g6, knight e7,
I could even play bishop g6 and king h6 then.
bishop g6, rook takes g5.
I'm just, actually, yeah, king knight f6 is okay. This is not so easy for Black. Let's think. As a certain person we know would say.
White's been
It's White's move or it's Black's move now?
White's been pressuring Black all game.
So no hurry with b6 maybe, but admittedly Black's all smooshed up there.
Is F pawn still here?
You mean on? She means on there. Not
Yeah,
on here.
yeah, or watching, yeah.
Ed Lewis.
Ed Lewis, that's a name from Edward Lewis.
He plays here, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I plays in Berkeley, or it has. I can't remember. Wow, these people.
Oh, it's getting late in the day.
Jay McChess.
There was some speculation by Abel that was John McCumsky. We don't know. So, Elliot, what's your score in this? I'm here with Elliot Winslow.
4-2.
And I'm going to
Doesn't look good.
take off Tenzing Shaw's name and put in Elliot Winslow. And there we go. So, what do you have? You have 4 points?
Yep.
4 out of 6. That's a good score.
Not really.
Not really, but Chambers has 5. Ivanov has 4.5, and Griffith.
Those two guys have.
And
What?
Griffith has 4.5.
So.
And Lee has 4.5. 4.5 because he won today.
Oh, and that's it, right? What's happening?
Michael Lynn. What happened in that game? Michael Lynn and Russell Long.
I don't recall at this time. You have it in front of you. There it is, right here. A long one. So that knocks.
So that knocked Michael Lynn out of that point group.
All I can say is.
Another battle.
All I can say is. Where'd it go? Thank God it's on a DGT board.
Is that an illegible?
It's Russell's score sheets. Yeah, of course it's illegible. It's a given.
Judith, I think IMF pawn might have gone to sleep. I'm probably watching our analysis.
Yes.
So pawn takes pawn, and rook h5 was played, and now rook g5 is a threat. So I'm not sure.
Stop this little. I don't know.
I don't think black can. King
g6 is a
97 check.
So what?
King g7.
Well, you had knight f5 there. Yeah. Who knows?
Whoa. This has been a really slugfest.
There's a threat to capture on f6 because h7 hangs.
That's true too. So I think this has been misplayed by black, and white is showing a little more purpose. What about knight e6 here? Bishop a7. Yikes. Things could be falling apart for black here.
Let's just see. That's 2 pawns. Yeah, so what could black do? Yeah, everything's coming unscrewed. Let's see. Those knights are hopeless. Ugh.
The knights are very bad, the ones at a6 and c5.
So...
Elliot,
what, do you want me to sign that?
Chess for Dummies.
Isn't that E?
James E, yeah. We've been...
Richard.
Who's watching? Anyone still up? Give us a thumbs up. Sure. Well, we're in the final game of on our DGT boards at the Mechanics Institute Chess Club in the heart of San Francisco, and we're watching.
This is the financial district. It's the cold soul. It's the cold. What do you call it? Come on, you're the reader.
The what?
What would a florid
right.
call this?
Well, we have. This is the last game. It's the top board in the A section. Ella Papanek is playing Mansour Mohammed, and on the top board. And it looks to me like white can play rook g5 here, although then the rook is stranded.
Oh, he did play bishop g6. Okay, that's interesting, in my humble opinion. Because if rook takes g5...
Knight e6.
Or king h6. Even. So
yeah.
Then there's no check on f6. Yeah, actually, there's a little problem here. Knight e6, is that better or worse? Not clear. Then he can take...
Tournament directors have to be careful not to play favorites.
Then he has rook takes g6 check, or she rather. She has rook takes g6 check, and then bishop takes a7, and rook takes b7. Who knows where that leads?
White's already sacrificed a pawn.
Yeah, well,
way earlier on in this game.
Exact exchange, but get the pawn back, and then some.
Right.
With a pawn for the exchange.
So it's an interesting position.
But that pawn on a2 is kind of crap. Excuse me.
So, Elliot, did you know we've got a new name for you?
For me?
Mr. Tuesday Night.
Oh God.
Well, there's been a Mr. Saturday Night, but now you're known as Mr. Tuesday Night.
I don't know about that one.
Now, yes, you're an observer.
Who is?
Judith. Judith is in Helsinki right now.
Oh my goodness! Why? What's going on in Helsinki?
Of course, you can pick favorites.
I've been there.
I play favorites all the time. The only place I don't play favorites is with my kids.
Oh, so
I love my kids equally.
I can tell a joke.
What's your
Tell you
joke?
this It's a Helsinki joke. Because it's
Elliot knows a joke from Helsinki. Okay,
well,
go
I'm not
ahead.
sure it's from there.
Go ahead.
So, as you might have ascertained by now, Finns are pretty quiet people. If you get on the trains, for example, nobody talks. It's just like, everybody just kind of sits there.
Okay.
And so, of course, if they get drunk, real drunk, it's a different story entirely. But, okay, on your way to Budapest. Okay,
Right.
we'll go to the cafe on the south end of Senate Square, and you can drink tepid coffee like I did one day. Okay. Anyway, the joke is...
Don't let them in.
No.
They're not allowed in that door.
The joke is two Finns decide to meet to go drinking. So they show up at right on the appointed time because they're pretty prompt people, and they order a pitcher and 2 glasses come, and they pour beer and they start drinking. Not a word for half an hour. Finally, of course, it would be you. Okay, shh. So one of them says, "Nice beer," and the other one says, "Did we come here to talk or did we come here to drink?"
Yeah.
The only Finn I really talk to a lot is not like that at all. He used to have the Gobi Desert Canoe Club bar and blues bar.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Where was that?
Tampere.
In Helsinki?
No, Tampere, which is another. I don't know if it's the second
So you
biggest town or
spent
something.
time in Helsinki?
Yeah,
in Finland?
Yeah, I played some backgammon tournaments there.
Wow. I played a Finnish player, the most famous Finnish player at the time, Vesterinen, and he beat me like a drum. But
Who else is? I don't know if there's any. I can't think of any other
Do you know
players. from there.
Timu?
Timu.
Who is Timu?
No, not by name.
No,
Timu. No.
Timu. I played a.
Is that? Okay. Fine.
Yeah, well, go ahead.
I was gonna ask his last name.
He won the Finnish championship 2 summers ago. No.
It's nice there in the summer. Boy.
Yeah.
I was there when. Do you know how does anybody? Oh, okay, Vietnam. Do you know who the Leningrad Cowboys are?
The Leningrad
The Leningrad Cowboys are.
He's a sophomore in Berkeley.
Cool.
You know, that name almost rings a bell now.
He may have played here.
He may have played here.
One of the weekends.
Uh-huh.
So the Leningrad Cowboys are a Finnish rock band. They had another name, like Sleepy Sleepers or something like that. But they had a complete and total alter ego, and this was like, I don't know when it was, 19. It was just after the Soviet Union coming down, and they formed, so help them, a group with the Red Army Choir and Orchestra Ensemble.
Wow.
And it was like, and they did a concert in Senate Square, which is like this huge,
in Helsinki.
right, the absolute heart of downtown.
I'm not sure that I know him. I mean, he might have played it here at the club. Yeah. But
that whittles down in Finland. That whittles you down to about everybody.
Yeah, but he
there aren't too many Finns here in Italy. I would have guessed Tenzing, except for his name. I would have guessed Tenzing Shaw was from Finland.
Is that right?
He's got the same lots of sun. Well, no, I don't know if I would say that or not.
So I'm sitting here with Elliot, and I wrote a tribute to Elliot in the last newsletter.
Oh, that's so nice.
What did you think of that, Elliot?
You're asking me?
Yeah.
What did I think of it? Well, your bio was off.
What was off?
You used some strange.
I used
You
the
misused the
biographical
little
information
information I
that
gave
you
you.
gave me.
You misused it.
I misused it.
I should.
The biographical.
I shall be sending in a rebuttal to the editor, if there is one.
You can do that. We want letters to the editor.
Where
of the
would they
news-
go?
They'll be printed in the
We
newsletter.
have a round file here.
No. They'll be printed in the newsletter. We want to do that. Tell me though, the games we played though were like
Yeah, we both agreed.
we
on
just did not
Nobody
play
was-
great games with each other.
They
You know,
were,
it's like either
that. I played
and
better
you
in 1967 than I did in 1987 or
You
77
blunt-
or whatever that was.
one game you just blundered at the in the time. And it looks like time pressure in all of the games, actually, almost. But they were not of high quality.
No, they were that other. What happened here? There's been a move. Bishop to G2. What's that all about?
Thank you, Judith. Yeah, no, I know that. Yeah, well, I'm plugging the newsletter.
Yes,
Yeah.
plug. So look at that. Bishop to G2. He wants to play F3.
F3.
She's all right.
Yeah.
So still,
This is the final exciting game
And guess what?
on the DG
that knight is
keyboards.
running out of squares.
Um,
Well,
Black has gotten the knights back into the game,
that's going to win on time. That move.
but F3. Let's see, what is the time situation?
He's got like a minute, I think, something.
But what does he have?
He has a little bit more.
'Cause, that move is going to really vex him, if you know what I mean.
Here we go.
This is just the most recent since. Oh, no, this is-
226.
Are those live times?
Yeah.
No. If you shrink it, does it scale?
Yeah. I
So
think
you
it
can keep
does.
it up while you're looking at everything else. Well, you're not
Yeah.
shrinking it, you're moving it.
Oh, okay. I think I can shrink
Grab
it.
the corner. No, on the white, isn't that? Oh, it's the whole thing.
I think I can do that. I think I've done it before.
We'll grab from the top right if you can't do it from the bottom right. Here, I'll do it. Am I in this too?
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, okay, you can do it.
Oh, I don't want to close it though.
Don't close it. Go to the other corner.
Well, here, there we go.
There.
It is here. No, it's not. Look at that. It's gigantic.
Go.
Let me just do it from the
go-
side.
No, do
Here,
it. Do it.
that. And then, it was,
There you
there we
go.
go. And then we can,
If you
Yeah.
feel a need to do that.
that way we can look at both at the same time.
Both what?
Oh, there's no reason to.
We can only look at one.
Oh, well, we're looking at that or looking at that. And there's a third one over there too. There's boards everywhere. It's too bad we can't put any analysis. What is Black going to do now? Oh, Bishop F7 is what he did. That knight is hanging. Whoops. Knight E7 into F5. Okay, that's going to really pull his plug. Threatening knight F5 check and a king G6.
Knight G6.
No, rook H6 mate.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's
that
that's
too.
true. It looks to me like Black is on the edge of a precipice here.
Yes, precipice.
That's
What's that? Oh, bishop check. Wait a second. Precipice. Not quite achieved.
Whoa.
Just king E1. It didn't change anything at all.
Knight G3 check.
Oh, that's a lot of pieces here. Oh, man. Okay, well then king... Well, I don't want to go to F3.
King F3.
Yeah.
Staring into the abyss.
I can do that.
Yes.
We can do that. Or even D1 for that matter. There's no checks then. Yeah, king D1. What the heck?
While you're all playing your games out there, we're staring into the abyss.
The abyss.
I guess King
Isn't it
F3
abyss?
is abyss.
Yeah, whatever.
Is King F3 for King D1? It's King
They're both
D1,
legal.
King D1 or King F3.
Now we know what it is. It's king
Interesting
F3.
plays.
It's actually nice when they only have a minute left. You don't have to wait for their move.
Yeah. What was King D1 Knight D3? I guess was too painful.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But now Knight D3 threatens
King
Knight
takes knight.
E1 mate.
King takes knight.
Oh, King takes knight.
Oh, or throws this.
Rook H8 check
Rook
was
H8,
played.
and then this. This is going to get out of hand. But actually, nothing's threatened. What's going on here?
Well, White can play Knight D6,
Yes.
and maybe it's a good idea.
Don't forget your rook's hanging.
Yeah, well, we've got to trade rooks first, maybe. Rook takes rook, rook takes
Yeah.
rook.
And actually, then this bishop takes C.
Bishop takes C5.
No, better.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't matter, actually. That's
No, the
Yeah.
bishop C5 is better because Black doesn't have a Knight D5. Bishop D5.
Well, what's this?
Oh,
that's
we
gonna be-
do not we do not approve of that,
People
folks.
don't know when to simplify.
Rook H8 followed by Bishop C5.
Okay, now we have a problem. Oh boy.
Why did White do this to
Quote,
herself?
clever, unquote. I don't know. That was a real horrendous move. She's going to hate herself for the rest
What?
of the...
Yeah,
She will not be happy.
that was a rook b4 threatening
Was
the bishop d5.
Bishop d5. Ouch, 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 ouch.
Oh,
This is horrible.
White
Well, then
is
you have king e2. No, you don't. Oh, everything came off.
everything was traded
Why
there.
did he do that? Oh, because a knight d2.
Knight d2 check. Bishop c5 here.
I'll take with a pawn. What's this?
I think Black is winning, Judith.
So who's going to win? Not a guy. It is going to be a guy. Maybe. What is this? What do we have here?
I think White has.
Wait a minute.
Black just needs to keep his head and will win this game.
Up a piece for nothing.
Yeah.
I'll forget the pawn. In fact, I don't know, king g6 even, or king g7.
High f pawn.
Oh, rook check. Oh, done a couple of checks and what happened? Okay, what did happen? That was fast. These boards don't.
They
keep up
don't.
too
Yeah,
well,
they
do
don't
It's
keep
really
up
stupid.
that well.
Look, the king's on g1. That's ridiculous.
King g6, king g1.
Okay. So
Well, Black should play just consolidate, play d5 or something like that,
that's
or
good. Or well, then there's danger on
bishop
no, there isn't.
d5.
Well, f3 would then pick off f6. Yeah, that's not a good idea.
Okay, you're right.
Nope. In fact, it was White's move. Now what?
It is a guy winning. I think it is.
Only maybe.
But this game has had a lot of twists and turns.
Twists and to turns. Now what does Black do? No. Knight c back to c5. Rook takes d6. Actually, she's got some play going on.
Rook f6 is a threat.
This isn't quite what you
Knight
like.
e6.
Only move,
Knight e6.
I think. Yeah, it looks like the only move to me. And there it is on the board. That's a problem for Black. For White.
f4.
So what? I just take it.
Oh yeah.
And then take on d. Whoa, that was weird.
Some fast moves.
Because they
With DGT technology.
So now White has an extra pawn.
White's
for
down
his
to
piece.
1 second. And Black is down to 17 seconds.
You can see,
White's
you can
moving.
see the moves.
White's moving
That's
instantly.
useful. Yeah, so.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. Oops, rook c6 only. Maybe not. Does that work?
It looks to me like
Yeah, it was played. Rook
moves
e7.
are being played. You can see on the upper right-hand side that White is blitzing. They're both blitzing off moves here.
And notice that nobody's. Oh, there's somebody watching, and that's good.
Yeah,
There's
the
F4.
tournament director Abel is watching. There's another
yes,
game
yes,
also on board 11,
that's
I
gonna
guess.
hurt. Or is it?
Bishop d8.
I don't know. That would be legal. Well, what happened? Not
I think White just pitched her rook.
Oh yes, that's a piece you don't want to be losing.
Very, very,
That's oh no, threatening bishop f6, but not really because you just take it.
and not that
Yeah,
not
it's-
that there's a threat there anyway after
Well,
bishop
f6.
king
If
g8.
there wasn't, that's true. Oh, you just gave up the exchange on g6.
Well, this is actually
Oh, 2 knights versus 1. Here we go.
this game is actually not
Well, there is the clock situation though.
unbelievable. White is just wiggling and
Yeah, you won't be
two
getting rid of that
pieces
b pawn
down.
now.
Two
Yeah,
pieces
so
down.
it's pretty bad. Yeah.
The problem is that yeah, we're just watching them blitz. Yeah, they're
Oh, have the knight get in there, the king get in there, but that's it. That's as far as you go.
so Black has to. Well,
Oh, that's going
you have to know. Oh, yeah, that got
Chin,
eliminated.
it's over.
That's
It should be over. I would
Yeah.
resign if I had time to. Oh, but he
They're
has no time either.
They're blitzing the moves out.
Yeah, this is over.
A relatively easy
Yeah, there you
win
go.
for
That
Black.
should do it. Okay, let me get the squishies.
Excuse me. I have to take that garbage.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, no problem. Excuse me? These bunnies are garbage? No.
Looks like a good bag.
Maybe not. Was it inside there?
Yeah, they have a garbage inside here.
No.
Don't take the bag. That's a nice bag.
Let me see. Is that garbage, Juan? Thank you, sir. That game is over and was won by Mansour. So the tournament, the round 6 is over of the Tuesday night marathon, at least the boards, the DGT boards. Thank you, Judith, for helping you, helping us. Another amazing round. There's still some games going on, and but we're not able to follow them on the DGT boards. So yeah, go ahead. We'll be back next Tuesday, and thanks for joining us, folks, at the Mechanics Institute for the Tuesday night marathon. Good night, and thanks for everybody who joined us watching, and we'll see you next week.